Okay. Should be streaming. It looks like we are. The channel is live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Adventure on so many levels.
That doesn't work very well.
What does what
No,
you're saying?
I have to lean
Oh,
out
I
this way
see.
in order to see her.
Well, I thought I would, I'm doing my intro and I'm hearing that doesn't work very well. And I'm like, what? We're going to play some
No,
Dungeons
Chris.
and Dragons.
Yay!
Yay!
I am Christiana Ellis and I am the Dungeon Master. Our players tonight, David Archambault as Dianok.
This place is turning into a real ashhole.
Oh
I'm rubbing up
no.
on the wizard. Oh God.
Jason Banks as Exel.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
It's you.
Lee Burdett as Flounce.
I have too much fur for this place.
Nobilis as Kenthan.
Hi there.
And last but not least, Paul Weimer as Xenophon.
We are paddling on a river in a land of fire. One hopes our journey north will not be dire.
Very nice. So, our I'm for the meta. I am experimenting with new video software, and so when when a message popped up on the Zoom window and briefly the little notification flagged over some of the videos on my screen, I was like, "Oh, does that show up on the on the video?" But it looks like the answer is no. And also, I did not prepare a tweet notification for this. If someone else wants,
I'm
to
on
do
it.
that. All right, thank you very much. So, when last we left the Order of the Golden Prawn, they spent a couple of weeks kicking it around the Radiant Citadel, doing recipe research, learning how to do awesome spoken word poetry, researching ancient undead liches. Undead liches is a little redundant because lich implies undead, but I suppose if someone had become a lich and then somehow were transformed in such a way as they were not undead anymore, are they still a lich? Maybe not, because I think lich implies undead. I've decided that's what it is. But in any case, all that stuff was going on. But eventually, you all were given the new assignment from the shield bearers, and this was a little bit more open-ended than some of the missions that you've been given in the past. You didn't really have a specific person to contact or a specific issue, so much as you had heard reports that in the land of Tletepec, that there had been increased reports of elemental attacks and volcanic activity of late. And the shield bearers wanted to know if it was likely that a wave of refugees would be coming from this land soon in a way that they would need to prepare for. And so you traveled to the land of Tletepec, which is full of forests and fertile plains and mountains and volcanoes. And you were on your way to the city of Etizalan when you came across a wagon being attacked by elemental fire creatures, giant salamander snake-like monsters, and smaller snake-like fire snakes. And you were able to fend them off with the help of the people who owned the wagon. Who that woman's name was? Who has it?
Amiali.
That's right. Thank you. You got it just before I pulled it up on my notes. Amiyali, who told you that she had been likewise concerned about the increase in attacks by salamanders and fire snakes and volcanic, tremors, seismic activity in the area, and that she had in fact sent a group of her town's warriors to the Twin Gods Observatory, which is a place that researches the volcanoes, to find out what was going on. But she didn't realize when she sent them how dangerous it actually was. And so as a result, she is concerned now that she just sent them to their deaths because they were not prepared. And she has enlisted the party to travel themselves to the Twin Gods Observatory, see if they can find out what happened to the Etizalan warriors, and also perhaps find out what's going on with all of these new attacks and volcanic activity. And certainly you experienced not only these attacks, but also an earthquake. So, eager to be on the road, or on the river, rather.
On the river.
You secured a rowboat and began traveling down the river towards Atiali Lake, which is near the capital of Tletepec, which is a city named Xochotla. And so you were on your way there, planning to arrive just around sundown, and shortly before you arrive you're sailing down the river, and we faded out last time as an ashfall began to drift down from the sky like snow, only not snow, not nearly so nice as snow. Very messy, in fact. But we will now resume our adventure as the Order of the Golden Prawn reaches into the lake itself, and then is able to bring themselves around to the lakeside docks of Xochotla. So what I suppose I should tell you what the city's like, huh?
Be good.
Sound like a good plan?
I'm in favor.
All right.
Yes.
Even if they're brushing
Although-
off all this ash.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so that kind of passed a little bit like a weather pattern, right? Like you imagine it's all still in the area, but it's not like currently actively falling on you right now.
I mean, I'm used to weird weather from Limbo, but this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So Xochotla is kind of notable in the area for being on a big, pretty even flat plain, and so it looks like it is probably the most straightforward place to grow conventional agriculture without having to have really elaborate tiered systems here, because you've got a nice flat even plain that and the access to the lake that Xochotla is right on there, and the style of the architecture is pretty similar to Etizalan, but it is the capital city here. You see lots of primarily humans and dwarves with dark skin walking around, but also handful of variety of others always happening along. And so, what is your plan as you kind of pull into the docks there?
Well, it was late in the day. We were planning on finding a place to sleep.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yep.
a inn or
Find an inn or other such establishment, and get ourselves some rest before we
Head to the Twin Gods Observatory.
exactly.
So as you are, I think you ask the harbor master there about an inn, and they direct you towards the center of town. And as you're on your way there, you pass by sort of a what looks like a street performance. Is that there is a couple of musicians playing some sort of an upbeat tune, and there is an elaborate, striking individual doing a pretty impressively acrobatic dance to this music, kind of in the town square. And let me give you the handout for this person. Here we go. The handout is for Olin, who, as you can take a look at, this is a tiefling with patterned turquoise skin and extremely elaborate feathery decorations all over their body that sort of trail and sway in their dance moves. And they're doing a very sort of expressional, sensual sort of dance. It's very extra, if you will, right? Like this is not a. I mean, it's very skilled, but the point is that this is not delicate ballet. This is dancing.
Yeah, or it's not a, it's not something for like a funeral or a dirge.
Right,
It is
right, yeah.
exuberant
This-
in all of its mannerisms.
This is we
It's
are
a party
happy
in itself.
dancing. But so like as you are kind of coming into the town square and this dancer is kind of sort of twirling around to face you briefly, I think you all kind of notice them notice you and get like a big smile on their face. And then as they kind of finish their move, they give some sort of a hand signal to the musicians who they're pretty good at it, but it's clear that at that signal they begin transitioning the music to kind of what feels sort of like a big impressive finish. And as that's happening, the dancer starts dancing in your direction, doing big elaborate finish moves until they finally do sort of a like cartwheel half flip, landing right near you and right as the music finishes, and then they go, "Hi."
And
Greetings.
Dianog is looking very suspiciously at this person because,
The first
hello.
Xenophon will bow with like greetings. Your athleticism and your artistry are vivid.
Well, thank you, honey.
And-
I
and I-
appreciate that. No question about it.
And
Excellent.
I will flip him a silver.
Catches it like very just like, chink.
Yep.
And in fact, actually, I think holds it up with sort of like a nod of thanks. But then you see them flip it over towards like a homeless person that's like over on a corner.
Hey,
It says, "Thank you very much, but you have something else that I am more interested in. All of you look like a group that's on a mission.
You're very perceptive.
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Would that mission perhaps just ever so slightly be related to all of the strange goings on around here?"
Yes, we were representatives of the shield bearers from the Radiant Citadel, and as a matter of fact, we are investigating the strange goings on.
Tell me, are you heading to the Twin Gods Observatory?
Yes.
I knew it! It just does an elaborate like spin and twirl. It says, "I will come with you."
Why?
Well, I am just the sort of person who wants to help people and make them happy. And right now, everybody is stressed out. And I want to help in any way that I can. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I bet those people up at the Twin Gods Observatory know what's going on. I should go up there. But then I was thinking, you know what would be even more epic? Is if we assembled a crew. And as a team, we went up to the observatory and we saved the day.
Is he BSing?
Inside check.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely want to take an inside check on this guy.
Sure.
Oh, but I rolled a 1.
I got a 6. I got a natural 2.
I got
okay.
a 14. I got
Sure,
a 14.
sure. Those of you who rolled low, I think you are just like dazzled by how intense
Yeah.
this person's personality is.
He
This is-
seems to have no ulterior motives to me.
Well, right. Like I think it's almost just like a little bit starstruck sort of thing. Like like all of a sudden you were at a concert and the person they're talking to me. Wait, what's happening now? But
For Dianog, it's not able to read any intention because it's so intense and they're just like,
You're not
I don't
overloaded.
like this
Mhm.
intensity.
Yeah. Well, in any case, those of you who got a little higher sense that it's there's no deception here beyond like it's not even deception. It's more just a matter of they were really hoping that someone would come along so that they didn't have to go by themselves.
Ah,
I see.
okay.
They wanted to go, and for the reasons they said, you think, but it was a little bit like, am I really up to it? Oh, I did kind of say that I was gonna, but you know what? It'd be better if there were some people to go with. So, hey, look, it's you. It's obviously you. It was meant to be.
Look at all of that armor. Look at all of those weapons. This is going to be great.
Mhm.
Excellent.
A moment up, beg, good sir, good person. Sorry. It's they them. I'm guessing. A moment.
Yes, that's correct.
A moment with my colleagues. So I will turn to my colleagues, step a moment, and do we want to have this civilian join us or not?
The only question in my mind is whether they're able to pull their weight.
Well,
That's
I'm-
that's it. I'm thinking they're possibly only a civilian in this matter. And we
excellent.
already have someone who is I believe is the word squishy is the right word.
Yeah, but
Ex-
wait, think about it. Directions.
Exel,
I mean,
Exel, Exel
I-
kind of tilts his head and says, I mean, their athleticism is not to be questioned. I think they may
That's
be
true.
able to pull their weight, but that doesn't necessarily mean they can fight. They don't seem to be the combat oriented type. Like he kind of looks at him because
True.
he's not wearing any
Yeah.
armor. He's wearing
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like him better than the princess.
That's
Yeah,
a very
that's
low
true.
bar.
So,
Very low bar.
they are a lot,
They are a lot.
but they would probably do better making making the offerings than any of us would.
And might actually know the route to a
Right.
higher degree of fidelity, as Fawn said, than we do.
Yeah.
Very
So-
true.
So I think if he can at least fight or know.
No, not
Stay
not
out
to
of the
run
way.
into combat. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Should be okay.
That will make the offer. I will turn back to Olin. We have decided that
Yeah.
yes.
So they had been leaning against the wall, like inspecting their fingernails.
Yeah. We have decided that we would very much welcome your presence on our expedition up to the Quinn Gods Observatory. We are seeking shelter at an inn for the night, and we'll leave in the morning. If you want to join us, be at the were we given the name of an inn by the harbor master?
I think they just directed you to like the
Okay.
in district,
Okay,
Well,
we will be on. Yes, be ready to leave in the morning with us, and you can accompany us up to the observatory.
well, if you don't already have a place to stay, I have some ideas. And I can also make it clear that I am going to be so useful for you. First of all, I'm guessing none of you have been there before. Yeah?
That's correct.
That's
Uh-huh.
not.
That's true.
I have. I'm guessing that none of you speak the local language.
No,
Hmm?
but
No.
I
Well,
do
I
have
do.
abilities to allow me to do so if necessary.
And I'm guessing none of you are maybe you've heard a little bit about the various rituals and prayers that we do to beseech the gods to not rain lava down upon all of us because we honor them with our works, our deeds, and our thoughts. I bet you don't know any of those rituals, do you? Hmm?
We were given some details on that, but we don't have the knowledge of someone native.
Clearly,
Your-
our meeting was foreordained because I am exactly what you need.
How are you in combat?
Well, I would always say that I'm more of a lover than a fighter. But that should not be implied to suggest that I am unable to hold my own, but rather that I'm that good as a lover.
Uh-huh.
I
I see.
do have something in the way of magic. I am a devoted servant of our gods here, and they have granted me some degree of power in that regard.
Good.
Now, I wouldn't
mean-
necessarily say that I could take on all of you. Not in a combat way, anyway. But I think that I will not be a burden to you in that regard, if that's what you mean.
Well, it was more a
at
matter
least-
of whether we needed to protect you or
Understood. How
or-
about
or-
this? We will all protect each other.
Excellent.
You sound like you know how to keep behind the people who can take hits instead. So that's good enough.
Axel kind of Axel, y'all see Axel kind of tilt his head and like his ears kind of cock, and he leans over, he kind of leans over to Xenophon and goes, I can't tell if he's explaining his skill set or this is some mating ritual.
I think it's
I
both.
believe
Yeah,
he
I-
is flirting with us.
I think you
just leave.
you suddenly find Olin with their arms around like you and Xenophon, just saying, "I
I'm
really
sorry.
don't care for labels."
I'm sorry. I'm in a committed relationship right now. Your attentions are appreciated, but I have to decline them.
Understood. But if we're staying the night anyway, I suppose if you were looking for a quiet, contemplative, boring night, there
Yes.
are places that could be arranged, but I also have a place that would be better able to educate you about local culture.
Axel looks over at Canthan and then looks at him and goes, does it serve good food? Like
You
local,
read my mind.
like
God.
the
My
local
dears,
delicacies?
the word? Well, two words really, and they are sweet and spicy.
Oh dear God, he is. They are
Let's
so
go.
extra.
Yeah, I mean, rowing the. I mean, you guys had me rowing that boat the whole way down. I'm ready for some food.
I wonder what kind of beverages they have.
Well-
So I would like us to briefly, collaboratively, add some details to what is, I was going to say effectively, but I think that's a qualifier that's not needed. What it is a fantasy drag club.
Okay. I'm not
all right.
surprised. Okay.
Yeah,
Silk.
yeah.
Silk?
Like there has to be silk
Sure.
Mood lighting.
a riot of colors.
Yeah.
Yes, and
This is not a muted place at all.
Mhm.
and a bevy of delicious sweet drinks that Axel is very interested in.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt if anyone else had more.
Dancing.
No.
Of course, there will be dancing.
Definitely.
I suspect our new friend is going to show off quite well how well they like to dance, and probably will want to dance with all of us. The gods help us all.
I think Flounce is leaning up against the outside of the building for quite a while, just trying to catch her breath. She has been laughing the entire time.
Yeah. And it should be clear that although it's all done with, illusion magic, accompanying some live performers, there's definitely from outside the muted.
Thaumaturgy, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So there is, in fact, good food. There's turkey covered in a thick, sweet, spicy sauce made from a mix of peppers, seeds, and cacao. There is
Mole! Holy
Yeah.
crap! Yes!
And there's also a lot of chocolate-based candies, but also in a lot of the sweets are not merely sweet, but they do combine the sweet and the spicy of the peppers.
Mhm.
And they warn you here that, like, I know that there are a lot of places that they say they like things spicy, but how many of those have a dozen volcanoes within walking distance? So the word here is hot, and the hotter, the better. But understandably, that some people find they need to work their way up to it. So, don't eat the ones out of these bowls unless you've tried the ones in those bowls first.
Thank you for the warning.
I wonder if they have any of those peppers from the contest that we all were in.
The night market?
Yes,
Yeah. So imported from elsewhere.
those
Yeah.
are exhilarating.
Well, these are all grown locally, but I would imagine that there might be some overlap in terms of variety.
Yeah, and certainly as far as heat is concerned, like,
Mhm.
well, we are no stranger to spicy food. In fact, when we first met together, it was partly over spicy food. So, yeah, let's have some fun. How much? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as my personal guests, I'm a bit of a celebrity around here.
You don't say.
I believe that all of you, as thanks for in advance for accompanying me on this mission, I think that tonight's room and boards can be accommodated.
That is very generous.
That's-
of you. Thank you.
But
Generous.
before we begin our celebration in earnest and holding up, everyone's got like a drink of some kind now.
Mm-hmm.
Strangers are just family that you haven't met. So let's meet.
It sounds good to me.
All right. So I think in various bits of small talk, if it hadn't been made clear, they do introduce themselves as Olin is their name.
Yeah.
So does anyone? I think the idea here is that it's basically, there are rooms, but it's also basically it's a dance hall, bar, restaurant, crash pad. So does anyone want to give a little detail of how their character spends the evening?
Oh, definitely with the food. Definitely with the food. Sampling as many different things as possible, eating the spicy things, working his way up. I'm sure they've got something to cool down with along the way as well. Milk, ice cream, what have you. If you run into trouble, sometimes those cost more than the spicy food itself.
Mhm.
But Kenthan is not stuffing himself, but he wants to try some of everything.
You do definitely find, especially as you are showing interest in experimenting with some of the spicier varieties, that you attract a little bit of an audience every time. And it's all enthusiastic people. You get the feeling that they really think it's cool and fun and funny to watch foreigners try their stuff, and it's either reassuring encouragement if it's not going so great, and enthusiastic cheers, you're one of us if you do great.
Okay. Would you like me to roll something to see how well I do with that?
Sure, go ahead and do a Constitution check with advantage. Saving throw. Saving.
Constitution save with advantage.
With
Okay.
advantage, yeah.
Can't thank
18.
Ken.
18, yeah, I think you can hang. You can hang with the Teletepec people. Partly because you,
Yeah.
of course, have your own background in spicy foods, and you've in
Right.
fact also been experimenting of late with various combinations.
Well, it's good to see some of the spices that I've been working with kind of in their native environment.
Yeah,
you know,
different
so-
ways that you see them used, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at the way that they're balancing the spiciness of the pepper with that sweetness of the cacao and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think DNR just kind of sits more in off to the side in the corner, like trying, with some of the less spicy food in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally some people come by and and say hi, but one particular person comes in, like, is curious why this elf is just sitting off alone, and and they start talking to Dianark and start talking about the history of the area, and Dianark just starts actually being interested, and then a drink is brought that is one of the sweet, spicy chocolate drinks, but also has a bit more alcohol than it realizes. And it's about an hour of several of those, and DNRC is just kind of trashed
Oh.
and is actually out dancing very badly.
Yay!
Oh.
So I think that the story that you hear from that person, that make your own interpretation as to why this particular story got brought up, but it's presented to you as, do you want to hear the story of how people came to live in this area?
Oh, of course.
Well, it's known as the legend of the two lovers. Long ago, there were two lovers that led their people away from war and conflict, looking for a new place to settle. They and their people were starving by the time they arrived at a peaceful but infertile land. And desperate to help their people, the two lovers offered themselves to the land, fusing their souls to create the two oldest volcanoes in the land. But the land remained barren, and so desperate, the rest of the people offered everything they had to the spirits in the volcanoes, even the last of their food. And finally, the spirits accepted this offering in the name of the gods and blessed the land. And since then, the people of Tletepec have offered a portion of what they have to the volcanoes to maintain these blessings. And it has been said that when the lovers became volcanoes, the memories of their mortal life began to fade. And so we have to, and the legend, so the legend goes, if they forget their past completely, Tletepec will be destroyed by the ash rise, which is all the volcanoes erupting at once, covering the land in lava and ash. But that is why we must present our offerings to the volcanoes and remind them of the joys and the trials and the triumphs of mortal life to help them always to remember.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's with talk of forgetting and being forgotten and all that stuff, that kind of tips over the DNR from just tipsy to drunk, and yeah.
Nice. All right. Who else has fun at the club?
Oh, Exel is literally he's trying a little bit of everything: drinks, food. Because again, where he's from, none of this exists. So he's super excited. And since coming to the Radiant Citadel, he's had nothing but elaborately unique foods. Like he is excited, which is why he also was not upset when Canthan was practicing his spices and things in our abode.
Very nice.
I think Flounce finds one of the artisans who are making jewelry for the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, showing off. It's like, yes, see how it sparkles and it drapes just like this. And the setting of the thing was very difficult. And so she's, because this is currently what she's working on, she gets involved into a very technical, non-lubricated conversation with several jewelry artisans, and they just kind of like this little corner of business going on in the middle of a party.
Nice.
And Xenophon listens to the music. He tries some food, and then he tries with his newly minted skills to try to actually combine his spoken word poetry with the music, trying to entertain a group of people he's got wound up talking to.
Well, no.
Rap
So
battle.
I think at the instant that starts to happen,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're aware of the rest of the music stopping, and Olin is up on stage and says, "Xenophon."
Oh, oh dear God, help us all.
Hey,
Okay,
you
so
practiced this. Go
I
get
did.
up.
I did practice this. God
Here
help me.
goes a Xenophon.
I am
Go
luckily
for
not
it, buddy.
implicated for this. I'm just gonna go this sober and straight. But he starts launching into the story of the two princes and their adventures with scorpions and mines, and
Nice.
basically tells the story is in rhyme and meter.
Nice. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay, let's see how big bucks, no Emmys. That's a 14, so
14,
that's
yeah.
a great.
It's a
okay.
happy, enthusiastic crowd. You get a lot of applause.
I could do better. He's even thinking as he's going back to get some drinks. Like, yeah, I could have worked on that meter better. He's thinking on how to improve it for next time.
All right. So I think at the crack of 10 a.m.
That early?
Well, we
Maybe
probably do have, everyone starting to get ready to be on their way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Uh,
I think Dianok wakes up under whatever bed that they were led to, and and apparently didn't they got their trance and all that stuff, and when they come to consciousness, they feel the pounding of a headache, then lift their head up and hit the bed, and it's even worse.
aw.
And then just crawls down. It's like,
That's how it goes sometimes. So on the Olin has everyone kind of everyone's ready to go, and they have their own traveling gear, which does not involve a lot of armor, but they at least have some sensible shoes on, and
That's good.
I think as someone notices that they pat their little hip bag and it's like, oh, I've got the special ones too. But shall we?
and
Do let's.
we start going out there, and it's like Dianok's like, all right, mage armor.
So as you are getting ready to head up to the observatory, the path, it's about 9 miles by the paths, and it's a lot of uphill. But as you did most of the overall journey from Etizalan was going to be just over a day from there, but you already made a lot of their way there. So you are definitely going to arrive there, mid to late afternoon. but you're heading up there. And so
mhm.
someone go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
I'll do it. 2.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and say there's another ashfall. You know what? Never mind. Go roll another one because just to not have a duplicate.
4.
Okay. So as you are making your way up these steep uphill paths, there is a road there. It is clear this is a place that people do sometimes go to. It's marked and everything. But at one point when you are making your way, you suddenly feel the earth rumbling a little bit below you, and then the earth cracks and reveals magma flowing far below. And this is not like right under your feet or anything, but it's nearby, and you see a fire snake rising from the crack and charges immediately at Xenophon, who's the closest. And it goes to try to bite you.
Oh boy.
It gets a 13.
A 13 will hit the squishy bard.
Okay, so that's 3 piercing and 5 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think, uh, so what does everybody else do?
It's,
Attack.
Yeah, draw my halberd and give it a whack.
Yeah.
Enoch's gonna mind. Well, we'll let the fighters go first and mind whip if they don't slay it instantly.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to basically just this is not a full encounter, so I'm just going to go. Let's say right to left on my screen here. So Axel goes first.
Alrighty. Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
22.
That hits.
2 points of damage.
All right.
But I will push it away from Xenophon.
Okay.
bless you.
And one more Eldritch Blast. That's a dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 points of force damage, and I'll push it further away.
All right. So it is your turn, Flounce, but this thing has just been pushed, 20 feet away?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Shoot. It is a fire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to use chromatic orb at it.
Okay.
With ice damage.
All right.
You're gonna tell it to chill out.
So many.
Sorry, it's obvious.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
And that is a 23 to hit
That's going to hit, yeah.
for, yes, cold damage. 13 cold damage.
As your chromatic orb strikes it, it's just instantaneous. It just sucks all the heat out of it. It just sort of freezes and then tips over and collapses into a little clump of ash.
Okay, well, I can't do that until I have a nice nap.
That was spicy.
Again.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And then Olin is just saying, I think that I found the right people to travel with. Next time,
Russian.
I'll get to do some of my tricks, and you'll see that you picked the right person, too.
Good.
I know we already did.
All right, so you continue on your way towards the observatory, and as mentioned, it's a few hours up there. You're going uphill and uphill and uphill, but like I said, there's a marked road with switchbacks, and it's clear where you're going. But on the way, I think Olin is just telling you about like local history and making a lot of just little small talk and everything. And I think a lot of it is just sort of, generic. But they tell you a little bit about how And the capital, Shoshotla, it was, you see, especially from up here, you can see just how big and even the plain is around it. Well, the story so far goes that the founder of Shoshotla is a woman named Metzley, and what she did is she made a significant offering to the gods. And it was so great that the gods created the plain for her. Now, this required moving some mountains around, so the story goes. Pretty exciting. And that is actually, in theory, legendarily, that is why the fire giants around here don't really like us small folk so much, because supposedly they are still mad that their mountains got moved around.
Long memories, perhaps.
Or it's a story. Who knows?
Or it's a story. But I live on stories.
Oh,
I collect
yes.
stories. That's why I'm at the Radiant Citadel, to collect stories and make some of my own.
Wonderful. Uh, we should do a duet at some point where you can tell one of your stories, and I will perform interpretive dance to accompany you.
Perhaps once we've solved the problems facing your land, that would be an interesting and pleasurable experience.
It's a date. Oh wait, no, never mind. I forgot you're taken. So
Sorry,
it's a gig.
it's a gig.
So, so you are making your way up, and I need to go to my next little thing here. There we go. As you get close to the top, above the trees on the rocky slope ahead, rises a tower covered in elaborate carvings of local animals and majestic mountains. Beyond it, smoke rises from a volcanic peak. This is a 120-foot high tower, pretty narrow. And as you are getting close, there are some little huts and like campsite sorts of things that are set out, outside the base of the tower. And there's some scholarly looking people who are working at some, set up desks and tables. And they look up and they see you. And two of them just like oh. And then the third one stands up and just says, no more. Okay, look, we can't work like this, okay? You're just going to have to leave.
We are here to help. We were sent here by the shield bearers of the Radiant Citadel because of the...
Do you know how many people who don't know anything about volcanoes come here to help the people who are the experts? And in doing so, what they do is they keep us from doing our work. It's not helpful, actually. I think Olin kind of just sidles up and just says, seems like you're very stressed out.
You may not be wrong.
And they look up and they kind of just take a side step away and just like, listen, look, we're doing everything we can. We know whatever it is that you're coming here to tell us. We know we're the ones that are studying this stuff. We're working on it. Just cut us some slack, okay?
We have offerings.
Okay.
Offerings. Okay. You know that those aren't offered here, right? Those are offered at the volcanoes, at the temples.
Okay.
Canthan's just kind of looking around. This is not what he expected.
No, there's no way to...
Perhaps it was Melina, right?
Amayali?
Amayali. Perhaps you know of the warriors sent by Amayali.
Oh yes, we were supposed to look for those people.
Yeah. They came from a village north of Etalon.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Okay. That's something I'm decent at. 27.
Okay. Tell us how that 27 manifests here.
Xenophon launches into Ryman Meter, telling the story of how we met these poor refugees on the road, and how we sworn to find their warriors and bring these offerings to the observatory, and launches into the whole story of fighting the salamanders and the fire snakes, all the way to meeting our new companion on the streets of the city, and coming up to the observatory to come here to try to help and try to find these warriors. And basically, we're not here to give you grief. We're here as able and willing to help you in this time of crisis.
I think that they are so stunned by you launching into this elaborate thing that
Mini
they're just
epic
kind of
poem.
staring wide-eyed. But towards the end of it, you see their eyes starting to glisten with tears, and they're just saying, I'm sorry, I was so short with you. It's just that we're under a lot of pressure right now, as you might understand. Like, it's just, we're trying to do everything we can, but there's just people keep coming and they keep asking us what to do, and we don't know yet. We're working on it, but then they keep getting.
Enoch's gonna go up to the person and just put a hand on their shoulder and
Oh, thank you. Wait, so. Warriors, you said?
Yes.
I don't think I saw anyone like that, but Tenali might have. He's up on the top of the tower right now. He's the leader here. This is weird, like the Watchers. So I guess you could ask him. Yeah, I don't know about the Warriors, but yeah, so there's lots of volcanoes. They're all being more active than usual. It's very stressful. We're trying to figure it out.
return to your work, and we will go to your leader to seek direction.
And
luck.
they sort of.
Yeah. Oh boy,
And,
I overdid it.
I think Olin looks over to you and just says, "No, honey, they needed that." But so are you looking up towards the tower then?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Tower time.
Okay. So as you approach the tower, I think there's also just a moment of the one that you talked to going back over to the desks of the others, and the others are like astounded that their friend who went over to tell off these newcomers is coming back crying, and they're like, "What happened? What did they say?" So they're conferring. They're conferring over there, but you're allowed to go into the tower. So it is the interior of the tower is actually hollow, with a spiral stone staircase rising to a roof with a commanding view of the region. But inside, the stairs go along the outside of from inside they go around the perimeter of the tower, but there's no railing and they're pretty narrow. It's not doesn't seem crazy safe. Like you need to be careful going up these stairs, right? Because the middle is hollow. Is it like just a 15-foot empty hollow in the center of this place, and then the stairs with no railing going up and up and up around it. But also you see that the inside is carved all the way up along the sides with a variety of informational, historical, arcane carvings depicting all sorts of volcanic events and smoke formations. And it's like you get the impression that this is almost like their like guidebook, like their reference check. That it's like if you see something, you go and you look like, oh, if it's the ashes in a certain shape, this is where you go and you say like that's what this means, and the carvings are all the way up.
Enoch is going to absolutely steady those as closely as possible while going up the stairs.
I think Olin looks up the stairs and is just like, all right, everyone, time to work those booties.
I imagine Well, I mentioned several times.
Come along,
I-
Dianok.
Yeah.
Later. Later, Dianok, later.
Well, I mean, you can. I mean, you tell me what you all are doing as far as is everyone going up the stairs? Is everyone
It's
just
probably
going up?
not a good idea for everyone to go up the stairs.
Mouse will volunteer to stay downstairs.
Yeah, just
The face is going upstairs. At
Yeah,
least the
yeah.
face Bard edition, not
right, right.
Yeah.
And
not
I've got
the
a
face fighter edition.
Yeah, I've got a fairly good persuasion too, so I'm gonna go.
Right.
Yeah, that's- so
Enoch's gonna
you're-
start going up the stairs, but go slower than Canton
Okay.
and Xenophon because they're studying the walls.
All right. So I have made a map to reflect like the tower and its position. So if everyone can everyone see this?
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Great. So we have, of course, the first floor here where there's the door,
Uh-huh.
and then the stairs begin here and
Oh,
go
okay.
around.
Okay, so
And then
they go
second floor.
counterclockwise.
Yes, correct. And so that's that's so everyone kind of like figure out what order you're going in and who's where and so on. And let's assume that I don't think it's a shock to say something's going to happen. But
Well,
what I'll
surprise.
say is it happens when you are about halfway up. So probably
Okay.
that would be,
Middle of the second floor.
yeah.
Yeah, I was ahead of you. I'm gonna live with that. Even though it's gonna be painful.
Looks like Dianok is maybe lagging behind studying the
Yeah.
carvings a little bit.
Studying the
Oh, yeah.
carvings.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, only a 9.
Okay. I think that you get the impression that like this is designed to be a reference, presumably for people who maybe don't already know this stuff. Like it's a record, so like if the people who are already trained in it like can't be found or aren't available or get hurt or something, someone can learn the craft through these things. But it's not something that's easy to just skim while you're going up the stairs. You have to study it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So in any case, as you are, those of you who are climbing are climbing. I think Olin would be climbing too. Would be going up the stairs. So.
Yeah, I was surprised he stayed behind with
Well,
me.
I just hadn't moved to the. I just hadn't moved to the token yet. Is all. So sounds like. What are you doing, Flance?
They didn't want everybody to go up the thing, so I'm just kind of sitting there listening to the scientists
Okay.
do their thing and trying to learn what
Mm-hmm.
trying to pay attention and learn without being disturbing.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Exel's just watching them from the bottom, like, who would have thought a good idea would be to build this tower on a volcano?
Well, to be clear, this is not on the peak of a
Okay.
volcano. It is on a high location designed for where the top of the tower can be used to look at all the different volcanoes in the area.
Mm.
So you're not technically at the top of a volcano itself. You're on top of a non-volcanic peak with view access to all of the volcanoes. So in any case, as you are making your way up, all of a sudden, you start feeling tremor under your feet, and then there's a crack like a thunderclap from below, and everyone feels it for sure, but those of you in the tower feel it suddenly sort of start to sway under your feet, and I need a dexterity saving throw from everyone in the tower on the stairs. Exel's on the ground level, so he doesn't have to.
Okay.
I got a 20.
13. I hope that's good enough.
Oh,
Oh my
Xenophon's
gosh.
gonna go for a tumble.
Olin rolled stupid low. That's a bummer.
The Bard is also gonna go take a tumble.
Yeah. So those of you who did not get a 16
Oof.
Oh,
are
That's-
going to fall. And that's going to be, whoops.
Hmm.
gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's going to be 16 bludgeoning damage, those of you who fall.
Hmm.
That's a
Um,
lot less than it could have been.
Yeah, sure it is. So yeah, I think. So who else fell? Canthan and
Yeah.
it looks like only Xenophon. Wait, no.
No, Xenophon
everyone
fell.
fell.
Everyone
Yeah.
fell.
Not
Oh,
Dianok did not.
okay. Good job. um, okay, yeah. So you have fallen, and the uh, and you feel obviously, startled. I would imagine,
Yeah.
unhappy maybe. But yes, as you're feeling the ground continue to shake, and the ground is continuing to move, and you hear almost like crackling, groaning sounds above
Get
you.
out of the tower.
Um,
Ah.
And the others look. So don't move yet. Just stay prone
Okay.
where you fell.
Okay,
Because we're gonna
okay.
roll initiative here in a moment. But at this point, as the tower is starting to to wobble, Flounce, you're there with the other researchers, and they say, Tonali's at the top. And we're gonna roll initiative. Hang on.
Okay.
21.
Oh.
Okay.
Have to.
Animated dice did a thing.
Xenophon's not having the greatest of days, apparently. Struck by the fire snake, fell down the tower. Crappy initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, his rapping worked, but that's the only thing that's worked so far today.
So everyone, yeah. So, oh, sorry, I messed that up. Wait. So what? Does everyone have their correct initiative on their tracker? Do they see their?
I do not see me on the
No,
tracker at all.
I got deleted somehow.
Okay. All right. This happens every time. That's why I'm asking. So don't say it like it's a mistake.
Okay.
Just all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Flounce does not see themselves there.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm confirming, not asking. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead and put. You should be on there now. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then they get a 10. Everyone sees themselves now. Yes.
Nope.
Nope.
No, ma'am.
Why this tracker is so bizarre because you know what I am re-adding everyone manually because it's Roll20 has been making this weirder lately because like when I opened it up it tried to populate everyone from like the last encounter on a different map, but none of you can see that, and then it's a whole thing.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. Everyone should see themselves on there now. Yes.
Yes.
I was there, but then I disappeared.
Roll20. Don't make this suck like you're doing right now.
There. Okay.
All right.
Looks like everybody's there now.
Okay, there we go. All right, so Order of the Golden Prawn. The person you need to talk to is at the top of a tower that's going to fall. Most of you are at the bottom of this tower. What do you do? What do you do? Deanoch, you're up first. To be clear, in battle mode, the stairs are difficult terrain. And so you move half speed going up them, or down for that matter, because they are narrow and not designed to be hurried on.
Okay.
And open in the middle, and you have been told that the person you need is at the top. Your turn. What do you do?
1, 2, 3 would be my movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if I wanted to just go straight up 30 feet, where would I wind up being on the third floor area from
Oh,
where I'm at?
so if you were gonna like Misty Step,
Yes.
let's see. I think that would put you.
Yeah, how high are these ranks of stairs from each other vertically?
Yeah, a full circumference makes you go up about 37 feet. So if you're going 30 feet up, I think it. What I'll say is you're gonna poof up to. I'll say. Um. I think like we'll say right there.
Okay. And for my action, I'm going to dash. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Great. Yeah. So you can see you're getting close to the top. Like one more square, and then the second, 2 squares would get you onto that 4th floor map. All right. Canthan.
Okay, as a bonus action, I am going to activate my ring of jumping.
All right. You are
And,
starting prone because you fell.
Right. So I'll stand up
Mm-hmm.
and according to the thing, I can do a high jump. A normal high jump would be 3 plus a strength modifier, which is 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So the ring of jumping means I can go 21 feet.
But you have 15 feet of your movement left because
Right.
you had to
So-
stand up. So you can jump that 15 feet.
Right. So that should take me about to here, I suppose.
Yep.
And then I will dash another 15 feet.
Okay. Is the ring of jumping, is that a bonus action?
Activating it is a bonus action.
All right,
yes.
great. Okay. Well, so it would be Tenali's turn, but you don't really know what's going on with him until you get up there. Exel, your turn.
Oh man. Okay. So let's see. Let's get this. So, do I see any enemies, or does this seem to be something from like caused by the like the turmoil, the shakes from the volcano?
Well, the tower swaying definitely seems to be from the earth tremor, the earthquaking, right? You don't see any monsters at present, so
Right.
it's just the earthquake as far as you can tell.
So then I will bonus action Misty Step 30 feet up.
All right.
Then I will take.
I think it can get about right there with that.
Yeah. And then I will take the dash action.
Actually, I'll say you would get there. So.
And where's the entrance to the next level?
Yeah. So would be right here. So.
The black stripes are
Yeah.
the boundary
So
between
1,
level and the next.
2, 3 would be your 30 feet because it's difficult terrain.
Then I will, instead of running that, I will. Oh no, I can't because Misty Step is a bonus action. Never mind. Then I will use my dash to 30 feet up that way.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
All right. Wait. So you bonus act Misty stepped.
Yep.
And then you moved You moved your
Did my
movement.
I took the dash action.
Oh, so if you dash, you should be able to get 30 more feet, right?
You said it was difficult terrain.
15.
15 more feet.
Oh, right, 15 more feet though. Is
Yeah,
what I mean. Yeah, another.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do. All right. Okay. The acolytes are they are trying to they're taking their first action to take all of the open books that they have right now, and they're shoving them all into what looks like these like protective stone like coffers designed to protect the information.
Hmm.
All right, Xenophon.
All right. Well, I don't have Misty Step like these fine folks, so I'm kind of going to be playing lag behind here. So five. These are 5, 15, 25.
Yeah, and it's only difficult terrain once you get
And
onto the stairs.
Right. See, these are
don't
10.
you also have to stand up?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to stand up first. You're right.
Yeah.
I have to stand up, and so then I go 5 on the stairs makes 15. On the stairs makes 25. So that is my entire action.
All right.
I who can I see and hear from here?
Well, it's hollow in the middle, so I think you can actually
You can see Canthan.
yeah. For
Okay,
for-
so I'll-
easily can see Canthan. I think you would actually probably be able to see Dianok too, just like another
Yeah.
level up.
Up surprisingly high for
Mhm.
considering how hard it is to move on the
Yeah,
stairs.
because he is almost 100 feet in the air, so
Yeah,
the range is relevant there at that point.
You don't.
Yeah, what is
You didn't realize that.
Yeah, the range of bardic inspiration is 60 feet.
Okay,
so I can't actually get Dianok with it.
Yeah, and
I
you
can
would
get so I can get Canthan.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I'm going to give bardic inspiration to Canthan because I'm waiting for another shoe to drop. Canthan, you can climb this tower and get us out of this dangerous power. It's inspiration for you.
All right. So it is Olin's turn, and they also stand up. And let me pull up their sheet real quick just to see what it makes sense that they can do. Let's see. I think. I think that they are going to. They're going to, stand up and they hurry to your side there, Xenophon. And then they cast Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, that's helpful. Somebody actually gonna take 2 wounds. Okay, so how many hit points do I get back?
7.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. I will nod to him and say thank you.
No problem. Let's save this guy. All right, Flounce, it is your turn. What are you doing?
I am going to help the acolytes.
Okay.
So I'm just going to boogie over here and. All right, how can I help?
I think
I'm stronger than I look.
So yeah, I think on their turn again, they'll kind of give you direction.
Yeah, so I'll save my action to follow their directions.
Okay. All right, so Dianok, you're up again.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15. Can I probably can't quite see it.
I think yeah, you probably don't quite have line of sight yet. Like another square and you will.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and dash up to here.
Okay. Yeah, so what you see is this Tenali. I have a handout for him. Let's show that to everyone. This is now shared with you. This is a dwarf priest. Intense looking guy here.
Yeah.
You see him kind of on his like he's down on one knee, kind of like struggling to his feet with his cane, looking like really scared, like he's kind of panicked a little bit.
Like, take my hand. I can help get us down from here.
He kind of there's a moment of just like his eyes are kind of glazed over, but then he kind of blinks and just says, right, yeah.
All right, do that, and then I'm going to Misty step to 30 feet outside, outside, basically falling. And I'm gonna try and wrap him up so that my arcane ward can cushion the fall.
I don't think you
That
can take him
that's
with you with Misty Step, though.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
Misty Step, you
Wait.
cannot bring a
Oh,
person with you.
shoot.
Yeah.
Ah,
and
dang it.
besides, that'd be like 10 dice of damage. You're not going to survive that.
Okay.
I mean, up
I-
to you.
I thought we could. Never mind.
Well, you're 120 feet in the air, so it would be 12d6
Yeah.
for both of you.
That'd be like
Yeah.
40 points of damage. That's not.
40 points. That'd still be conscious.
Yeah, well, he probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But in any case,
I-
Misty Step, you can't take a person
Okay.
with you anyway.
Okay. Well, that changes what what I can do. Shoot.
I thought you
Well,
had
I mean,
like
you
feather fall
already
or something.
used your action to dash, and
Yeah.
so if you
Yeah.
don't have a bonus action right now, then
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I don't have one. I'm going to. I'm going to cast. Stone Skin on him.
is that a bonus action?
Oh wait, shoot. That's not.
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
That's okay. That's why I'm just trying to. Okay.
Okay. Well.
That's okay.
Okay.
I mean, hey, there's a lot going on, so I'm just saying. So Kent, then it is your turn.
Yeah, I would like to leap across the tower.
Mm-hmm.
My standing long jump is 24 feet, so I should be able to clear it, no problem. The question is whether I can get high enough to grab the next stairs up.
Right. I think that you can jump with and land at, like, one square below where Axel is right now.
Okay, all right, and that's as like a movement action.
I mean, it kind of would be, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I will take a dash action and move another 1, 2, 3 spaces around the edge.
All right. So it is the tower is, like, the ground is continuing to shake, and the tower is sort of wobbling, and it is making the stairs kind of even more, like, there's no new save required or anything, but it's
Right.
it's
It's
clear
just-
that this is not tenable. This is
Yeah.
not resolving itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or rather, there's one way that it will resolve.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So it is Tenali's turn. Hang on. Oh, right. So sorry, I'm just trying to pull up their stats. So they have, now that they've kind of been snapped out of it a little bit. They look to. They don't have a lot of. I mean, I think they are. Well, so here's the question, Dianak. Given that what you said initially was based on a plan
yeah.
that didn't happen, would you
I
have
would
said
say,
something else?
Let's get moving down.
Okay. Yeah. So they now that they kind of have been snapped out of it, they're gonna start moving down. 2, 3, and then they will dash as well. 2, 3. There we go. So they start hustling down. Axel.
Let's see. I'm trying to see here if there's something I can do to mitigate this difficult terrain, and I do not think I can. Because I think I took the optional feature. I did. The one time Natural Explorer would have been really good. Since I don't see any enemies, I'm trying. Yeah. But I can see that they are coming down, correct?
Yeah. I think you can see them up across the center of the tower.
Um, hmm. Then I will. I'm just going to hold my action until they pass me and then follow them down.
Okay. I don't. You can't hold movement.
Well, then I will just. I guess I'll just start going back down then, since I don't see any enemies and I can't take him with me.
Hmm.
So yeah, then I will start going back down, but I will only just use my action to dash. I won't use any bonus actions,
Okay.
and that'll be it.
Do you want me to move your token or?
Uh, yeah, let's see. 10, 15.
It is
So
still
the-
difficult terrain going down because it's not just about the difficulty of going up; it's just about navigating the stairs without falling.
Right. So yeah. So taking the dash action would give me the 30. So it put me. I guess that's second floor. So at the top of the.
Yeah. So you'd be basically like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It is the acolyte's turn, and they are finishing with Flounce's help, getting all of the
Books put
books
away.
into these like protective containers, and then they say, "Help us get them away from the tower so that they're not buried if it comes down on us." You're muted, but
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I saved my action for, so I
Sure.
will definitely do that.
I mean, you can't save movement, but you can. You
Yeah.
can. We'll assume we don't have to do that strictly mechanically. So they're starting to move that away, and you're helping.
Yeah.
They leave one of the containers for you to carry. Xenophon, your turn.
Okay, so I can see Axel coming back down the stairs. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did we get him? So I'll call over to Axel. Did we get him? And if it seems like that seems to be the thing. I'm going to get off the stairs because I'm expecting our friend to come back. So I'm going to squeeze past our new friend and come to here and look up and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will. Exo will point and say he is with Dianok.
Yeah.
Got it. So that I'll just move to here then
All right.
and watch and wait and see if anything else happens besides an earthquake.
Mm-hmm. It is Olin's turn. And I think that they are going to. Well, they see that same issue holding back, but they're gonna try to get out of the tower to be out of the way. But they're staying here where they can watch through the doorway. All right. Flounce, and you're helping them move the containers.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just gonna follow with their little formation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Dianok.
Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6 movement and action. Or actually,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh, dang it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You-
That's it. I'm just gonna stay with it. Stay
Okay.
with the guy.
Sure.
With the dwarf.
All right. I think that I don't know. I was just going to see if I cared about like it being easy to move past them on the narrow stairs, but I don't care. So Kanthan, your turn.
I want to get to a point on the stairs where I'm about 40 feet up, which
Okay.
by my calculations is probably somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. I assume that since I can jump 20 feet up safely, that I can jump 20 feet down safely.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Okay. So my plan is to wait there for the VIP to come along and I'm going to grab him, say, hold on tight, and jump across the tower down 20 feet and then down from there. That's my plan. Is that
Yeah, I'm just thinking that carrying a whole other person is different than doing it yourself.
I understand there may be a role involved. I've
All
got
right.
inspirations, so I'm not worried about that.
Gotcha. I think you think that you could do it easily yourself, but with another carrying
Person,
someone,
it'll be a challenge.
yeah.
So, well, uh, I've got a good athletic score. I've got inspiration. I'm
Mhm.
ready.
All right. So it is now the tower is continuing to wobble, and there's some
Boy.
stones starting to fall from the roof that is starting to crumble as the walls are starting to come down. And I think to Deonok's dismay, you're seeing cracks forming along through all of these really intricate carvings. But I need everyone who's inside the tower to make a dexterity save, not for falling off the stairs this time, but for
Before being
rubble.
hit by rocks.
Yeah.
Great. I should have stepped outside.
18.
20.
Yeah, you should have.
Oh, 11. I'm gonna get banged.
Let me make one for Tenali
Bonk.
here. He fails. So.
I was going to ask, was a 15 enough?
A 15 is enough.
Okay.
But those of you who got less than that, you're going to take 11 bludgeoning damage from falling rocks. And that includes Tenali, who is, he's not unconscious, but that's not good for him. Okay, and so it is his turn. He's bleeding from like a cut on his head now, but he's also still hurrying down. Does his 60 feet of movement there. Deonok, did you take that damage?
No, I got a 20 on
Okay.
dex.
All right. So I was just, yeah, and he needed his action anyway.
Yeah, I'd say it's like, if I did, I imagine like, kind of as flavor, just like, Brick came and just like, deflected it with a bit of magic.
Sure. Okay, Axel, your turn.
Yeah. Axel's going to get out of this tower. And he's gonna take the dash action and run outside.
Okay.
Though I will be looking up because it seems that it's going to be coming down.
Okay. The acolytes are continuing to move their stuff well away to try to get clear of where any of the rubble might fall. But they do keep looking back at the others, and they see some of the people coming out, and it's like, is Tenali coming? Xenophon.
All right. I will head out of the tower following Axel to here. Looking up in distress, trying to get out of the range of flying rocks. I look to flounce up. Deonok's bringing the priest down, priest astronomer, volcanologist down.
Mm-hmm.
And that and I think I better heal myself because I'm getting hurt here. All right, so I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on myself at second level.
Okay.
And that was just about the worst possible roll from a
Oh, well.
second level Cure Light Wounds attack. Well, so it goes.
Too much. Yeah.
Oh well.
1 and a 2.
Yeah. Womp womp.
All right. Olin is hurrying away, but I think comes over to Axel. You took some damage, right? They are going to.
Excellent. Oh no, Axel didn't.
You didn't fall. Oh no, right. You were on the ground level. Never mind. That's right.
Yep.
So I think they will come and Xenophon, you feel a little bit of a goose that
God, he keeps flirting. They keep flirting with me.
you just
feel
make
like-
it so easy.
I
That's another 5 healing for
Oh,
you.
dear God.
Um,
I'm enjoying it so much.
I think though that there is a moment there where they kind of give you a look and kind of lean in and whispers like, "If you really want me to stop, I will."
I'm not going to respond. I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying him. He's enjoying it way too much.
Wink.
Wink.
All right, so they kind of move on a little further out here too. You notice first of all also that they've healed you twice, and they fell too. They look like they're
Yeah.
took some damage, but they're spending the magic on you. Um, that makes it Flounce's turn, and I assume you're also with I think with this. I think getting the stuff to there, you're pretty confident that it would not be buried in rubble at that point.
Okay.
But in any case, that makes it your turn again, Dianok.
Okay, so gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna keep up with the
Mm-hmm.
with this person and just you know are there any windows or anything on out on the
No.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So like open through the center, but no windows. There are some like torch sconces and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Okay.
all right, Canthan.
I am going to call up to him and say, I've got magic that can help. When you get here, I'll grab you and carry you down.
Okay. I think as we get to layer action initiative tracker turn again, everyone needs to now once again make a dexterity saving throw as the
Okay.
tower continues to wobble.
Natural 20.
Okay,
go.
that's a fail.
Oh.
Single digits.
Okay. I think that in this case, what happens with those who fail is that they simply stumble down the stairs and are prone, and so it's just knocked prone in this case.
Ah.
But
Did
that
it?
did apply to both Dianok and Tenali. So
Uh,
you basically kind of end up staggering down and like almost falling, but it's swaying pretty. The tower's not long for this world. All right. It is Tenali's turn. He is going to stand up, but obviously that costs half his movement. He's going to do his best here. Would get to move 1.5 squares, and then 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. So he's on his feet again, moving down, but obviously that slowed him significantly. Axel. Your watch. Oh, incidentally, now is about the right time to show the handout for this section here. I'm now sharing a handout called Twin Gods Observatory Topples.
well, I guess that's kind of
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the story.
Mhm.
Oh.
So this is the tower, and as you can see, it's wobbling back and forth. Masonry is crumbling off the sides. Seems real bad.
Beautiful artwork,
Mm-hmm.
but very sad.
Terrible situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, because Orlin and Xenophon are hurt. So I will, since I'm outside of the tower, I will move next to him and say, Xenophon, come here. And then I will cast Healing Spirit.
All right.
And I will just put the Healing Spirit in the square in front of me and have it heal 1d6 on Orlin or Olin.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna make a little just a little box to represent
When the
where it
spirit
is.
moves you.
So go ahead and roll the 1d the
Oh, there it is. Ah!
one. Well, you know.
this this wonderful image of a rotting, mist-covered tree comes out of the ground and kind of goes, and he gets 1 point of healing back.
I think I'm starting to feel something.
Oh dear.
Axel looks at him and says, "Usually, I don't have performance issues."
Ah,
Well, it's that kind of
It's that
Party.
kind of night, y'all.
Mhm. All right, so that was Exel's turn. The acolytes say, we have healing too. If you come to us, we can help. And one of them will ready a cure wounds for anyone who comes close enough to get it. But they don't want to come closer right now because the tower might fall down on
because
them.
the tower is falling.
Yeah. Xenophon, your turn.
Okay, so a question, Jason. Do I have to end my turn in that box or just pass through it to get the healing?
You just have to stand within 5 feet of it.
Oh, okay. I have
I'm
to
sorry.
sta-
Or hold on, let me double check that.
Yeah,
I think
because
I
it's-
think mechanically you do have to be in that spot.
Yeah, you have to stand in the spot with it. I'm sorry, because it's technically incorporeal.
Right. But you could also, if you run over to where the acolytes are.
right. That's
Yeah.
just showing which way to go. So I'm going to go over to the acolytes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With this gash on my forehead, and yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'll happily take whatever cure they'll want to give me.
You get 8.
Okay.
Matter of fact, what you can do is you can pass through it. So because what it is the first time you enter its space, so you could pass
Oh.
through it on
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
you
to
can.
Okay.
the.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering whether I had to actually stop there. So yes, I will pass through it and then come to there. So I get the extra 1. I will take it.
Oh, you'll get let's see, 4
4.
points from that.
Oh, 4 points. Thank you.
Mhm.
That almost gets me up to full with all this healing. Thank you. I'll need it. All right.
All right.
And that is Xenophon started looking weirdly up at this tower and hoping that Canthan, Tamale, and Dianak are okay.
So I think Olin it looks to you, Axel, and says, "Don't worry, we can try again." But but I wish I could say we had all the time in the world.
Indeed, I do not think we do. And he's looking up at the tower, kind of like ears pinned back, because does not see his other compatriots.
Yeah, yeah. I think. I think they use thaumaturgy and shout back towards the tower, saying, "Do you need help in there? Are you on your way out?" All right. Flounce.
Okay. Well, seeing as I have delivered the thing with the other acolytes, I'm actually going to head back towards the tower.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to see if I can be of any help once they get a little bit closer to the ground.
Okay. Dianak.
okay, so with getting up, movement, and action, I believe that will get me to here. And I'll say to Tenali, it's like, just keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
We will get you out of here.
All right.
And then I'm going to Misty Step out into the middle,
Okay.
30 feet down,
Mhm.
which will probably put me about 40 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
and-
gonna take the.
would I be able to do a deck save to try and lessen it?
No, sorry.
Okay.
That's going to be 13 bludgeoning damage for falling the remaining 40 feet there.
Okay. Well, hey, actually, I'm perfectly fine.
All right. Well,
Hmm.
you've got your magical shield there.
Yeah.
Okay. Canthan, it is your turn.
Yeah, I am just waiting for her to come down within reach.
Okay. He's not going to be able to get to you on this.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So you'd need to be at
Yeah.
least one square further up the stairs for him to get to you on
Okay.
his turn.
Yeah, yeah, I will do that. I will wait where he's going to be on his next turn,
Okay.
and then on my next turn, I will grab him and give it a go. And if we take a little damage as a result,
All
we'll.
right. Well, so
Uh,
here's what I'll tell you is that as you finish your turn here,
Mhm.
um, as we get this next layer action, there's no new save made this time, but what you feel is a shudder as a crucial piece of foundation gives way, and you feel a lean that doesn't feels like it's not going to stop. And so what I'm saying
Okay,
here is,
this is it.
on the next round, the tower will fall. You're sure.
Yeah. So
Holy Anna.
so yeah. I mean, my plan is to grab him as he comes by and do this jump um uh and yeah. So
All right, so it is his turn. He is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets to
yep.
just adjacent to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little banged up already. So what
Yep.
is it
And
you were?
so I just imagine like we have a ready to action to grab him
Mm-hmm.
and wrap him up, and then I'm going to jump across to the stairs 20 feet down from where I am, and
Okay.
then down from there.
All right.
Um,
So I think 20
and
feet down
since
from.
flying through the air isn't difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you're
um,
landing on stairs with no railing, and they're already shallow and everything,
no,
and carrying a
I'm
person.
willing
Yeah.
to make a skill check here.
Yeah,
Um,
and I'm gonna tell you, I think that this should be on. So like this is where you'll be landing if it
mhm.
goes well.
Right.
But I'm gonna need an athletics check, and I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
tell you right now, it's not a low DC.
No, I understand. So I got a 16, and I'm going to roll that inspiration die.
Yes.
Yes.
Please save him. Please save him.
For 5 is a 21.
I had in my head 18.
Hi! Yay!
All right, so
So
I think the Tenali finally gets to you, and I think there's a moment for you, Canthan, where you start to grab him and start to get ready, and you realize he did not understand what it was that you were planning to do, and he's like, "Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!" And so he is, you pull him along with you. You land, wobble a little bit, but you're on the stairs, and you kind of set him down on the stairs, and he puts one hand on the wall and kind of.
Oh boy.
Oh,
You're muted, Nivelis.
yeah, we one more and jump down from where we are and get out.
Yeah. Well, Tenali doesn't have another turn. Yeah.
I'm holding on to him and
Right.
jumping off the edge. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Exel, it is your turn. You see that the tower is starting to fall. It's going to collapse in seconds. You're
I
muted.
can't jump down from where I am with him.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm saying that you'll have to wait for your turn, and
Oh.
that immediately after your turn, the tower will fall.
Okay.
Before he
Okay,
gets to
okay.
go again. The
Okay.
tower actions are
Okay.
happening at initiative 20, which
20,
is right after
right.
Canthan, but before Tenali.
Right. Okay.
Uh, you were muted, Jason. So I don't. We didn't. There you go.
Could I? Okay, so can I see them? All right, you know what? Can I use the shatter spell to blow a hole open so they could jump through it?
I think ordinarily a shatter spell wouldn't be enough to blast a hole in the tower, but it's already falling apart. I think I would allow you to try, but the hazard, of course, is the tower is already falling.
Right.
I think what I'm going to tell you right now is that there is a chance
But I'd knock it down.
that you'd make the tower fall right away.
And does Exel know where they are within the tower?
See, the thing is, I'm thinking because that doorway is not big enough for multiple people to go through at once, and so
Mm.
if I blow a hole big enough, they can go. They can all just come. But I don't want to knock this.
Well,
do
and
not
I
wanna knock
think
it
I
down.
think you can see Dianok on the floor of the tower, but you can't see where Canthan or Tenali are.
Right. Man. Oh, and I do not have. Yeah, and I do not have something that can pull. Because I hadn't because to be fair, if I had it, I could Eldritch blast them and pull them out of the tower.
Well,
I
but you
don't
can't
have it.
see them still anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's tough. There's not a lot you can do, but decide
Yeah.
from your limited options.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'll
Alright.
just hold my breath.
Okay. Was it Olin able to get another bump from the healing spirit or?
Oh yeah, I can do that for him. Yep, because he's still standing there. Yep, absolutely. Because matter of fact, I can move it with a bonus action. So I'll move it back on top of him, and he will get a. It would stop scrolling. There we go. There we go. Spells. Here we go. I've used a lot of spell slots today.
Mm.
4. He gets 4.
All right, great.
And again, and with that, the spirit disappears, and
Okay.
Exel is watching in horror as this tower goes down.
What I'll also tell you while you still have your turn and movement speed is that you think you are not clear of where the rubble is going to fall.
Oh, well. Then yes, because I can heal without using an action, then I will gladly move over to where the people said they thought they were safe.
Yeah.
Come
All
to the
right.
safety zone.
Yeah. Okay. Xenophon. Well, it's the acolytes too. But they're I think telling everyone, get over here, because you're not clear. So that's what they're doing right now. I think one of them, another one of them holds a cure wounds for anyone who comes close and needs it.
I'm only 3 down at this point, so
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be much more serious people coming out of the tower, so I'm not gonna indulge in that. So if I am in the safety zone, I'm going to remain and watch and worry.
All right. Okay, and then Olin is going to hurry over, and they will get that that cure wounds for another 9. They're feeling a lot better. Okay. And actually, and Olin is looking to the others and joining in now, just like, and we're walking. You know what? Actually, we're running. And we're running. Yeah. All right.
Work those glutes, babies.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Can entangle be cast on a vertical surface?
I'm gonna say yes.
Because
But
if can, my idea was to cast Entangle on the wall above the door to try and reinforce it and give them a little bit more of a safety margin.
Oh, okay. So you're basically just trying to
Hold
to
it together a little.
stabilize the doorway.
Yeah, stabilize the doorway. I can see Dianok, so he has a chance to run.
Well, they do
Some.
say the doorway is where you're supposed to go in an
Yeah,
earthquake.
they're wrong. That's a complete lie.
His damn lies.
Yeah, but but just to stabilize some of that upper wall to give, so that maybe it gives them a little extra time to go.
A
Okay.
little extra time, or maybe a slightly less damage, or
Yeah. I think you don't think you can stop the tower from falling, but you could
No.
potentially create like wouldn't even necessarily slow it down, but you might keep that specific part from crumbling a little bit. You know, uh, it won't crumble quite as much
Yeah.
if it's sort of stabilized that way. Like the rest of the tower is coming down, but you might have create a little spot.
yeah.
Yeah, try that and go ahead and make. What is your spell? I guess it would probably be wisdom, right? What is
No,
that your
it's
spell?
intelligence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check then to kind of see how well this seems to work.
Okay. Arcana?
I think intelligence, but I'm setting the DC
Okay.
appropriately.
Okay. All right, so that was an 11.
Okay. You don't know that it's going to necessarily be super helpful, but it's better than nothing.
Yep.
All right.
And then I will boogie back over here.
Okay. All right, Dianok.
So Dianok is going to get up and 1, 2, 3. It should be 3.5, and then just dash over to everyone else. It's like Canthan has the priest. They're coming.
All right.
Yep. So I'm gonna grab him and jump down.
Mm-hmm.
I guess to here, I guess would be the appropriate place from that spot.
Yeah. Do make a check. The DC's not so high though, because you're not landing on stairs.
Right. An athletics check. Natural 20.
Nice.
Even does little Olympics thing.
And,
I think you everyone else is seeing through the doorway as Canthan lands not quite in the 3-point pose because both hands are currently holding this dwarf on front.
And yeah, boogie out of the tower as far as I can get. So
yeah, so you're moving
how
half
far that is.
Yeah, moving half speed from the from carrying a person, but
okay.
Yeah.
So that would be, if I'm dashing, then maybe 25 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's,
yeah. So
that's
I think
as far as I can get.
Yep. All right, and now the tower falls, and let me.
I'm so glad I didn't climb up so high because that would have been terrible. Squishy Bard.
Let's see.
I'll tell you something. That ring of jumping has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Really useful for
Yeah. It reminds me of the big round tower in Curse of Strahd too.
Yeah.
Where do you
Rock
think
jaw,
I
Hulk
got
jumping,
the inspiration?
Lois
so-
learns.
All right, so I need Tenali and Canthan to make dexterity saving throws from falling debris, but thankfully you are not inside the tower when this is happening, and so you're dealing with a lot less debris than you would have been.
Right.
Shoot.
Oh.
Only got a 3 on that
All right.
save.
So here's a question.
Uh-huh.
Since I'm assuming, like, technically in turn order, I would have been next, but I guess the fall is happening in between the two turns.
Yeah.
Could I use Shatter to break the debris to help with the damage? Because it's a focus.
It's a
No,
10-foot sphere.
well, so okay, the tower falling is happening essentially
Yeah.
instantaneously. Like you don't have
Ah.
time to use it as a reaction.
Right.
But I mean, if there's debris on the ground that you wanted to break up, you could do that, but not while
No.
it's falling. But in any case, so um, once again, there's debris falling from the sky, and both of you failed your dexterity saves. I think with Canthan's dexterity save, I think you just did this amazing jump. You're carrying this guy like a hero out the door as the tower is falling behind you.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then just as you're moving to safety, you turn your ankle a little bit. And then you are pegged with rocks to the tune of 14 damage.
Dianarch, as a reaction, is going to tear what's left of their ward and throw it to Tenali.
Oh, great. Are you taking all the damage then, or how does that work?
It will absorb 7 damage.
Okay, great.
I didn't know you could do that with Arcane One. That's neat.
Projected ward. Creature
Nice.
within 30 feet.
Yes, and just barely too, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there is what everybody else as you're watching Canthan and Tenali hurrying out. The tower's falling. There's rubble falling. You see some rocks hit them, and they stagger. And Deanock's doing his thing, and then there's just this cloud of dust, and you can't see anything for a moment. But then, as the dust starts to clear, Canthan and Tenali both kind of stumble, covered with dust, out of the debris in the ruins of the tower behind them. But the ground has stopped shaking, and it appears that everyone has survived. And the acolytes run over, and they are, hugging Tenali, but then they're also looking at the ruins of their tower and kind of crying about that. And Tenali looks to all of you and just says, "Thank the gods that you are here. I was all the way at the top. I never would have survived without your help. I thank you so much. This is a disaster, but at the very least, I owe you my life."
If we can.
Who are you?
We are the Order of the Golden Prawn. We were
We've been
sent by the shield bearers to see what we could do.
And to see if they needed to start prepping for evacuations.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they're being so proactive, because I don't know that it won't be necessary. So, obviously, I think it sounds like you know that there's been a lot of unusual activity lately. We've been trying to figure out what's going on, and I was up at the top because I have come to a conclusion that I once would have thought a flight of fancy, myth, but I just can't come to any other conclusion. I think that the cause of the eruptions is a Tleshalot.
Is a what?
And the acolytes all gasp, and then everyone else is just like, "What?"
What? Yes.
Actually, Olin gasps with them.
Yeah.
A Tleshalot is it's a spirit. It's an elemental spirit that is rumored legendarily to live inside the caldera of volcanoes. But it's the sort of flight of fancy. It's the sort of thing that you say as a figure of speech when the volcanoes get a little feisty. And Tenali says, "Well, I would have agreed, but all of the information we have, the signs, it just fits the legends too well. I can't see any other explanation for what we're seeing. But the volcano that is showing the most activity right now is Jade Mount, and I near the Gate of Illumination, and I had been watching it carefully, and it's obvious to me now, looking at the pattern of its behavior, that the Fleshalots that are rumored to sleep in the volcanoes, but the one in Jade Mount must have been woken up. And ever since that happened, all of the other volcanoes are stirring too, suggesting to me that it might be trying to wake up the others.
Well, that wouldn't be good.
That would be a worldwide disaster.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to explain that element of it, because it's, I mean, I knew that I've been watching Jade Mount, and so I figured that, there might be information to be found at the Gate of Elimination. It's a temple place where we make the offerings to the gods there. And it's near Jade Mount, and I figured that might be the place to find out more information. And, I sent those warriors there, and, whew, if they're facing a Fleshalot, I don't know. I don't know what to. I'm sorry. I'm just a little flustered here. It's just my life's work just nearly collapsed on me.
Would this need to be something
It's all right.
that
It'll be all right. Yeah.
would need to be destroyed, or
Well,
Appeased, I think, is the first thing we want to do.
I mean,
So-
the thing is, like the Fleshalots, like I said, we most of our information treats them as myths, not like a real thing that you really deal with. It's so we don't really have like established practices for them. I think ideally it could go back to sleep and stop waking up the others. Short of that, I guess, could it be persuaded to not wake up the others? I don't know. Short of that, I think it needs to be killed.
Well, let's go see what we can do.
So
Um,
if you can find, if you can tell us where this Gate of Illumination is and the best way to get there, we will go find the warriors and face this creature, and one way or another stop the threat.
does our companion know the way to the place?
Yeah.
Oh, Gate of Illumination? Yeah. I mean, that's like the best ritual spot, honestly. I mean, obviously this is different kind of situation to be going there, because usually it's a big party. But yeah, I do know the way. And here, let me put us back on the map. Doop, doop, doop. The Gate of Illumination is right here.
Oh,
We have a hike. Okay.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna go back through Oxalotl.
Shoshotla?
Shoshotla.
So
Sorry.
Axolotl is a lizard.
Yeah, so we're going back through here
Yeah.
to get through here.
Mhm.
Maybe you can tell us more about these myths as we travel, and we can get you somewhere safe and get your books somewhere safe.
Well, I mean, thank you for that, but I think that we need to kind of try to maintain our presence here. Obviously it's easier to see everything when we have the tower, but I mean, this is not merely a good observation spot, but it's where people know to look for us. So I think we need to stay here. It seems like we're okay for now that you saved us from getting crushed by our own tower, but thank you anyway.
Do you want us to ask someone in Shoshotla to send back help?
I mean, if you're going by there anyway, you can, I mean, like, tell them what happened. But I mean,
Well-
the thing is, right now, what I'm worried about is this. It seems like it's really dangerous time for anyone to be traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we noticed that.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was thinking was we got that rowboat in Shutla.
Mm,
We can go at
Well,
least part of the way downstream on that, probably faster than we can walk. So,
maybe go all the way to the Gulf and then backtrack up. That might be
nah,
faster
that's
than
probably
walking.
not as good a choice. I was thinking as far as either that branch there or else maybe that bend there, and then straight line.
well, so
This
Olin,
might be
having
closer.
been there before,
Mhm.
says, uh, well, you're right that our best path is to head back to Shoshotla first, but and then just take the river from there. But once we get close to the gate, we'll have to leave the river, but it's not far to walk from there.
Yeah. So
Hey,
it's a good thing we didn't get rid of that boat.
Yep.
Mm.
and
So,
all this time, DNOC has been, every 6 seconds or so, just casting mage armor again to rebuild up that ward.
okay. Well, I mean, how many of your spell slots are you
Uh,
using for?
the feat I took up
Oh,
allows me to cast it at will without.
Oh my.
mhm.
Temporary hit points do not stack on top of each other.
Well, the arcane ward is different. It's not temporary hit
Oh,
points.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
different
okay.
thing. But yes, I am just thinking. It's like, I was just deciding, like, how do I feel about that combination? Yeah,
Takes about a minute.
yeah. Certainly while it's not in combat. The question though is that it was a couple of hours up this road from Shishotla, but it's now starting to get towards sundown. Um, so are you gonna try to go down as it's starting to get dark, or are you gonna um, try to make camp somewhere?
Um, I think making camp on the side of a mountain is a bad idea
Especially
in this.
especially a tectonically active one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So either we should make camp here or at the
We hurry
bottom of the
down.
mountain, by the bottom of the mountain, fairly a fair ways away from the foot. So
And
whichever is more likely to be, yeah.
Well, I mean,
If
you're
it's
welcome to stay here. We have our own, um, our own sort of huts that we stay in nearby, and there's not a lot of spare capacity, but you're
but
welcome.
I'm also interested in making time because clearly this is there's a time pressure here.
Well,
I
that's true
think
too.
if we can,
So if we
uh,
can get to the bottom of the mountain by nightfall, then we'll make camp at the bottom. A ways
I
away so that
I
if there's
think
a
it'll
an
it'll start to
avalanche,
get dark on the way.
in that case we'll camp here.
so I, um,
Stay here.
you know, they if they say they don't have much space, and Dion will say, I can provide us some appropriate space.
Oh, oh, your new spell, Dianoc.
Yeah.
Yes, now it comes in real handy.
Mm-hmm.
And Dion will take a minute and cast Leoman's tiny hut. Actually, 11 minutes because it's a ritual.
Sure.
11 minutes well spent.
Oh my, this is extremely cozy.
Oh God.
Just private little love nest, protected from those who would do us harm.
Yes, it is. We are protected here, and we will have to be close to each other.
I'm somehow not thinking they're that overly upset about that fact, Dianoc.
I'm friendly.
Dianoc is going to attempt to have at least one person between them and
um,
All right, so yeah, I mean, if everyone kind of wants to make camp and go ahead and kind of, the acolytes and the priest here, like Tamali Denali, definitely have their own sort of healing spells. So I think everyone can kind of, be back up to where they were, and you're cozy and you can get an undisturbed long rest.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. That- So
Where did that other bit? I have my. Sorry, I've got a couple of different windows open here, and it's always the thing where. Oh, there we go. There we go. So actually, overnight, someone roll a d4.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, I think both I have once at the same time.
Yeah. So I think not too far away from your hut, somewhat overnight, there is sort of another slight rumble, and you see another fire snake come out of a crack in the earth, and it sort of slithers over and flops its face against the side of the tiny hut, and then loses interest and slithers off somewhere.
Tiny
and
hut for the wind, Enoch.
um, it's colored about the same size as same color as the ground.
Okay.
So it just looks like a dome.
Reminds you that scene from Tremors when the little graboid thing was like on the car window.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it looks a lot like that because it's just kind of like smearing its face. But then it leaves, goes off into the forest somewhere. But yes, you can complete your long rest, and then I assume you are getting an early start back down to Shoshotla in the morning.
Yes.
Yes, without doubt.
Yes.
Okay. So you should certainly head back down there. So here's this is not going to be a problem. I'm just trying to get a sense of the fiction of it. What did you do with your boat? Because you would have had to pay to store it. Would you have asked to keep it docked somewhere, or?
I think we would have. I mean, you don't. A rowboat is not the kind of thing you'd leave at a dock. We would probably have pulled it up, and paid to put it in some kind of
Little boathouse,
warehouse,
Storage,
boathouse,
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't imagine it costing more than a few silvers.
No. Yeah, so I'm not, we don't even need a nickel and dime it, but, yeah. So I think you go ahead and you get your boat, and you are going to, let's see, I think with having gotten an early start, having the boat already ready to go, you think that you will actually be able to reach the Gate of Illumination today.
Excellent.
It'll take all day to get there, but you can make it.
Yep. Let's do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is some village along the way where we can drop off the boat and have them, store it for us,
Not really.
and we will.
I imagine
No? Okay.
as
I
part
mean,
of
you can
a
pull it up out of the water and leave it.
In that case, if it's not inhabited, then we'll just pull it up out of the water.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's get one more.
D4?
One more D4. As you're continuing to travel down the river.
I'll do it this time.
Okay, so as you are sailing, rowing down the river, you are going downstream, so the rowing is a little easier. As part of why you're able to travel a bit faster. But you don't really feel the tremor because you're on the water, but you hear a little bit of a rumble and you see some of the trees sort of shaking, and then all of a sudden there's from somewhere under the river you see a whole bunch of bubbles starting to bubble up from underneath, and you realize that you are about to row right through a cloud of noxious gas that's bubbling up from under the water. So
Okay.
I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh boy.
Okay, but we did have a long rest before this, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Oh. Ow.
19.
13.
Okay.
14.
3.
15.
Oh, Tianak.
Yeah. So we were looking for a 14.
Ah,
And if you did not succeed, then you are going to take 14 poison damage.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Let's
Alright.
see. Let me make one for Olin.
We do have potions, or I could start casting cure spells.
we also can take a short rest and spend some hit points.
We also could take a short rest and
Mm-hmm. Olin was able to hold their breath. I can actually hold my breath an impressively long time, if I do say so myself. So that happens as you're going down the river, and then a little further along, a couple of hours later, as you are spotting a place where on alongside the northern bank of the river, as you're kind of coming across this plain area, you see there's a road that runs along the river right there. And on that road, you see 4 bodies lying where they've fallen on the road ahead, all showing burn marks and spear wounds. Broken arrows and fragments of a shattered wooden cart are strewn about.
I think we should investigate. So
I agree.
I'll row us towards the shore.
Mm-hmm. Can't then row the boat ashore?
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. So yeah, sure enough, you see that there are some traces of what looked like they were intended to be offerings, kind of like the ones that that Amiali was transporting. You see, like a flower here, or a tiny little paper craft there, but it looks like whatever the bulk of what the wagon was transporting has been taken somewhere. What else are you checking about the area? The bodies do appear to be dead.
What killed them?
yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Flounce isn't great at perception today. She made a 3 or an 8.
Well, other people are making their they've got significant burns on them, and I think you also find large snake-like tracks nearby, suggesting salamanders.
Salamanders. Why did it have to be salamanders?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I said it was on the north side of the river. I take that back. It is actually on the south side of the river. And
Oh,
Okay.
and the bank we're supposed
Yeah.
to go to. Got it.
yeah, and then the tracks do seem to go in that direction.
We followed to we investigate.
I think
Uh,
if they're going to the same place we are, perhaps we just keep going.
As long as the tracks, seem to head towards the gate, we follow the tracks,
Yeah.
I think.
Olin says it's like, well, I was going to have us follow the river a little bit more down to another path, but this way will lead to the Gate of Illumination as well.
Yes, I was thinking going the river that way. Go a little faster and keep our and maybe catch
I
up.
mean, it's fine with me either way.
Okay. As you are just kind of discussing what to, which way to go, and kind of looking off at those tracks, a roar comes from a forested rise over the road, and pushing through the trees, you see the towering figure of a fire giant charging in your direction. Go
Oh boy.
back! He yells. Abandon your offerings! You know not what you do! And he's shaking a big hammer at you. Furious face. And he's charging at you.
All right, get out of the way of his charge. And yeah, first of all, I'm not going to turn back, but I'm getting out of the way of his line of movement just so he doesn't trample me by mistake. We're we're here to end the threat to what was the name of that creature? I didn't think I got it quite properly.
So
The pleasure shot?
Telesho shot.
Pleasure shot.
So first of
Telesho.
all, one of the things that's to note here, this is a real world thing, is that the creature that is sometimes called an axolotl by Americans,
That's lots.
axolot, yeah, is has that's the pronunciation. So
Oh,
this is tleshalot.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna get grammar corrected by a fire giant. This is really not a great day.
That's all right. But in any case, yeah. So go ahead and you are attempting to appease it and tell it what you're really up to.
Yeah,
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
this is why you have me in the party, right? 27.
There you go. Yeah.
This is why you have me in the party.
So I think this giant is charging. Scary face, shaking this giant hammer. This is a fire giant. They're 30 feet tall.
Yeah,
This is like
I'm not
towering over you.
I'm 5.5 feet tall.
And then
Holy shit,
charging
Ryan.
and as you start to once again, like at 27, you're declaiming, I suppose.
I'm declaiming, of
Yeah.
course I am.
I think that there's a moment where the fire giant kind of slows to a stop, like they were charging and they kind of just stop, and they're just looking down at you for a second, and in that brief moment of silence, Olin leans over and just says, "Even better than the one at the observatory." And then, although mechanically, you know that they were actually just equally as good because they were both 27. So
Yes.
Um,
He's buttering me up like a muffin.
but so what you do have now is a handout for Shokopol.
Oh, he looks a little jaunty in that one.
Yes.
So
So
but still huge.
imagine this guy, only you come up to basically just below the knee.
Yes.
That big.
Yeah. Oops.
So looking down at you after all of this is just says, "Wait, you aren't bringing offerings?"
No.
What is it that you are here to do then?
We are here to persuade the elemental creature in the volcano to cease its activity by persuasion or otherwise.
The Tleshalot.
The Pleshalot, yes.
I have seen it. I've seen it through the gate, but I am too large to fit inside.
You are
Well,
strong. You are strong and mighty and large in stature, but we are shorter and can fit underneath all the faster.
Yes, well, as it happens, I am not generally a fan of your kind. Little creatures going where they're not welcome. However, I like these Tleshalots and their salamander servants even less.
Then you will, yes.
If you would confront this Tleshalot and persuade it to stop sending its salamander servants out, I will accompany you to the gate.
We would be very welcome of your company,
We'll do what we
mighty
can.
fire giant.
And you must solve this mystery because, for some reason, the salamanders, the fire snakes, are not native to this plane. They come from the elemental plane of fire. They do not belong here, and they have been sent out, and they are hoarding offerings that are meant for the gods. I do not know why.
Well, this sort of behavior is not tolerated. Will not be tolerated.
They have been traveling all over and bringing the offerings back to Jade Mount.
Ah.
So, if you can travel to there, I will accompany you, and I can protect you in the meantime. But as mentioned before, the gate is this big, and I am, as you see.
Quite. You're tall and mighty. The tallest and mightiest being I have had the pleasure of meeting.
Under their breath, Olin says, "I've seen bigger."
Of course he has.
But they don't say that out loud. It's it's very like
It's
it is
almost sort of
very practiced in a practiced way. It is very carefully calibrated so that you all hear it, but the giant doesn't. But in any case, then shall we to the gate of illumination?
Do let's.
Mhm.
All right. So, you are now on your he just basically starts striding by land, not going by water. So,
Okay.
are you following that way?
Yep, we'll
All
follow
right.
all that way.
All right. So, yes, he has to keep slowing down to wait for you, but and you feel the ground sort of shake with each footstep, but they are leading you to the gate of illumination.
While we're walking, Dianok would like to talk to this giant and mention the story they were told about how the people came to be in this area.
Hmm.
And
Yes, well, I understand that is the way mortal small creatures might interpret the truth. But the truth is that the fire giants roamed this area long before humans or dwarves or any of those small creatures came this way. And they did beseech the gods here, and the gods saw fit, the human gods, the dwarf gods, saw fit to move our mountains around and disrupt our way of life just to make places for these small folk to grow plants and raise small animals. And that is not the way that things should be. But it is not our place to challenge these gods, but rather to keep our own domains the way we know.
have you ever tried what's the foods that can be made out of these plants and animals? Because
They're giving you
I-
just like a skeptical look.
well, let's just say Canthan here has some talent with cooking, and you you might be surprised by what can be made that is both delicious and
Why,
filling.
thank you so very much for volunteering me for this effort. It was completely unnecessary.
Oh,
I'm just saying, I'm just talking.
I have no idea what a fire giant's gonna like to eat.
Well,
um,
given they seem to be a being of fire, I think the spicier the better.
I don't have. I mean, I don't have an ox lying around to roast for him. Look at the size. I mean, if I put a single fleck of pepper on your tongue, would you be able to taste it?
Possibly. It, you know, it
Next time you have an
quality, not
idea like that,
quantity.
talk to me first.
I release you from any obligation as I have no interest in small food.
Thank you. Let's go. We got more important things
yes,
to do.
we have a world to save first.
I do have a life outside of helping small folk with their problems.
Actually, Exel will say, are there other of your people around?
Yes, obviously. Where do you think we come from?
I've never met one of such as you, so I wouldn't know.
Well, read a book. And they keep walking.
Well,
Judging by the talk that we've heard, you probably come from at least one or more of the volcanoes.
So in any case, you make your way to the
Mhm. Gate of
the
Illumination.
gate of illumination.
illumination, yes.
And
Now, what I'm curious about is why he couldn't just like step over it or something. This interesting
Or
conundrum.
around it.
well, because it is a cave that is human
Ah, it's a
sized.
cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
So let me. There we go. So as you walk along this path, occasionally having to weave back and forth to avoid stepping in the craterous footprints left behind by Shokopol.
Mhm.
Um, you follow this. A well-traveled trail climbs into the mountains. The haze of volcanic smoke hanging overhead. The path ends at the entrance to a cavern carved with images of divine figures and gigantic lizards amid cracking mountains, clouds, and geometric flourishes. Crimson light emanates from within, and the smell of sulfur is thick in the air. And so, sure enough, this is a cavern that is, maybe 15 feet. And so the Shokopal gestures to it and then gestures.
very reasonable that you cannot go in.
Thank you for your escort of us to this point. We will go in and do what needs must be done. I will bow respectfully to the fire giant.
I will prevent any salamanders or fire snakes from following you in and attacking from behind.
Uh,
Thank you.
Over
you.
the time, other parts
Much
of
appreciated.
the walk, could we have asked what knowledge they have of the Kishakoto? Or
That Pleshalot, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It is TL. So like the
yeah.
land, TLEXOTL. Yeah, I think that's it. TLEXOLOTL.
Okay.
Pleshalot. But I mean, he says they are spirits that sleep in the caldera of volcanoes, and
I mean,
they slumber for a long time, and when they wake, the volcanoes erupt.
okay. Like do they when if they're disturbed, do they spray fire or any any anything like that?
He just kind of blinks a couple of times and says, "They are elemental spirits that live in volcanoes."
Okay.
I think that
Thank you. Let's go.
I
I
think
think
that
the
some
freeze
of
is
the
taken as
obvious
read.
conclusions that you might draw from that scenario are
Okay.
probably accurate.
Yeah.
So as you let's see uh you go ahead and make a religion or nature check, anyone who I guess wants to. And Deanoch definitely should.
13.
Okay.
21.
So Xenophon, I don't think.
Natural 20.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, even better. Canthan's on the ball.
Yeah. I think, Canthan, you didn't spend a lot of time looking at the carvings in the tower, but I think that there were a couple that kind of caught your eye, and you're realizing just like at first it's just kind of like, oh, it's a similar pattern, but then when you actually kind of look at it, you do see that some of the carvings that caught your eye do appear to show reptilian creatures living in volcanoes. There's like symbols sort of showing that.
Hmm.
But let's go ahead and move on to the map. Okay. Delete all of the things from the tracker here. But,
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna need it.
Yeah. And then I'm adding everyone to the turn. So won't show a score yet, but does everyone see themselves on the turn tracker?
Yes.
Good. Okay. I did that properly then.
Yep.
Okay. So, you are at the entrance to this cave. As you glance in there, you can see that the ceilings seem to be about 10 feet high. As you are looking at the entrance here, you can see that there are various sort of glowing magical decorations that look like veins of magma flowing through the walls. But Olin just says, "Oh yes, this place has magical protections, you see," and will actually just places a hand on one of those things. It looks like magma just flowing, but just it's quite cool in both respects.
Okay.
But
But yes, so tell me what you do, adventurers.
I think we're so it's dark in there.
It is dim light.
All right. I'm gonna cast light. I'm gonna cast light on me anyway, just so I
Okay.
can see better. We're not exactly sneaking up on anything. I'd like better
Mhm.
illumination, just in case. And I am the squishy bard. Going forward, going first is probably not the greatest idea I've ever
No,
had.
I'll,
I'm
I'll
gonna-
go first.
I'll let the fearsome
Mm-hmm.
can thing go ahead of me.
I was like, oh, I got more of these fiery things.
Yep. So as you are making your way through that little in that cavern, what you see in that room, the next room, is bright murals cover the walls of this broad pillared hall, depicting people through the ages receiving blessings from the gods. A stone double door stands at the far end of the room, while stairs rise to the west, and another hall opens to the east. But also, there's fire snakes in there. So as you move on in, you see one of them, and it sees you, and we're rolling initiative.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh,
Wow.
dang.
All right. Looks like we do need we need a dex check from Canthan and Dianok. Who's got higher?
Mine's 12.
Mine's higher than.
All right. Okay. So, Exel, you are first. So I think you hear from, like, as Canthan precedes you in through the cavern, you hear the hissing snarl of one of these fire snakes.
Alrighty. So, that being said, I will. 25. And I will. Bonus action dread form. And let's see. Oh, wonderful. 4 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And I will Eldritch Blast. Actually, no. I will Ray of Frost the one that I can see, which is the one to the right.
Okay. Go ahead and make your
24.
24 definitely hits.
And that is 2d8 cold damage. 15 points.
Yeah, your ray of frost just flash freezes this thing. It instantly the fire goes out and it sort of topples over and breaks into pieces, which then crumble into glittering ash because of ice crystals in the ash.
Well done.
And you guys, when you see that happen, Exo's eyes flare a green and emerald, a green and violet light.
Hmm. All
And
right,
that was my turn.
nice.
Nice going.
Okay, Dianok.
Okay, gonna move up to here. And I'm gonna throw acid on these two.
Okay.
So save on both.
Oh, right, right. Dex save.
Yes.
Okay. Left one first. And then they got a 13. And then a 9.
Both fail.
All right.
Both take 6 points of acid damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just go back to here.
Okay. Oh, hey, did that?
Probably should have taken a short rest before he came in, but that's okay.
Interesting. Their little life bar is not updating properly. But yeah, okay. All right. So that is Dinok's turn. Kenthan, your turn.
I'm going to move to here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use a bonus action to activate Fighting Spirit. And I'm going to whack that fire snake.
Mm-hmm. Whack that snake. Whack
26
that
to
snake.
hit
Hits.
for 10 damage.
Nice.
13. Does that hit?
No.
Okay.
You clip a little bit of its scaly hide, but don't hit it solidly enough to do damage.
That's my turn.
Okay. It is now the fire snake's turn, and that one definitely just charges right on up to you, Kenthan.
Okay.
Going to try to bite you. Gets a 20 to hit.
That hits.
3 piercing and 5 fire damage.
Okay. Part of that's taken by my temporary hit points.
And then tail attack, but only a 6 to hit with the
That
tail.
does not hit.
Yeah. And then, hang on, let me open my stat blocks for these guys. All right. So, okay. So, that is that one. And then the other two are going to slither on up.
I'm going to take a sentinel attack on one of them.
Okay. Yeah. So I think as this one.
Another 13.
Okay.
Crap.
I'm gonna hit.
That's a lousy
Not gonna
roll.
hit, yeah. So I think you're going to get all 3 of these attacking you just because you're the one that's kind of out front.
That was on purpose. I was hoping to get a sentinel attack on one of them and
Yeah.
reduce that, but that's how it goes.
Unfortunately. Okay, so 17 to hit with a bite.
Just barely hits.
Okay, 3 piercing, 2 fire damage,
Okay,
and then a 20 to hit with the tail.
that hits.
5 bludgeoning and 1 fire,
Okay,
and then the other one, 10 to hit with the bite,
missed.
8 to hit with the tail.
Missed.
All right, so that's all the fire snakes. Xenophon.
Yeah.
Kenthan's starting to look a little hurt.
Okay, so I'm gonna go here, here. All right, so I think I need to push these guys off of you, I think.
That would be helpful.
I'm gonna go here and going to cast Thunder Wave on these 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get all 3.
Well,
'cause it's
and
a
I-
50
Thunder
but I
Wave
think
is like the way that I've always interpreted it. It's a strange spell, but it's supposed to be 3 square by 3 square, where you are in the middle of one side.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, so it
Okay.
can get 2 of them, but not.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll take on those 2, so they've got to make a
Okay.
con save.
Yeah. That's gonna definitely fail for that first one with a 3, and then a 17.
The 17 will succeed.
Okay.
The three does not. So
All right.
the 3-1 takes 9 damage and gets pushed. The one that does not get pushed takes half damage. And
Okay.
Takes 4.
All right. That one's still looking pretty rough now, but not pushed. Okay.
all right, and I'm going to give inspiration. I think Flounce is up after me, so I'll give inspiration to Flounce to help do this. Right. So Flounce, you are not exactly a hare, but you can chop up enemies. I am well aware. Take a dive inspiration. And that is the bard.
Okay. All right. So that makes it Flounce's turn. We don't hear you.
Yeah, no,
there.
I'm mumbling to myself. So one.
It's hard to
2,
tell if that's what's
3,
happening when
4,
you're just mouthing words without making sound.
Yeah.
5. Okay, this is pretty much as far as I can get.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
for
close
my
enough
action, I'm going to summon Steve.
Okay. Oh,
My
your
earth
your
elemental.
Earth Elemental?
My
Yeah.
Earth Elemental.
Time for
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
You didn't recognize Steve?
All right. Where's my
We've been hanging out doing stuff, you know?
Did you have Steve out?
Where
on
are
the-
you putting them?
Um,
Is they're large,
yeah,
right?
that'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Well, but they're
Well,
large, right?
behind the fire
Yeah.
snakes would probably be
Yeah,
better where they
behind
that?
yeah, behind the fire snakes.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him to kill the fire snakes and the salamanders.
Okay. Okay, and they go after you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
And what we
This-
have to remember is you do have to maintain concentration.
right. So I think this one is no, actually, this is he sitting on top of one?
The dead one.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's gonna hit these two, or he's gonna hit this one right by Canthan and see
Mhm.
what damage, and if he kills it, he'll move to the one next to it.
Okay.
So slam attack
Mm-hmm.
for 13. That does not hit.
Does not. He clips the pillar instead.
Yeah, let's try that again. How about a 23?
That'll hit.
For 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, he crushes that one. Just out like snuffing a candle.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so
That
he's
should be the
just-
end of his turn, right?
Yeah, that's the end of his turn because he only gets 2 attacks.
Right. Okay. It is the salamander's turn now, and it's gonna swarm up here and try to figure out what to do with this this earth elemental.
Uh-huh.
I think what it's gonna do is attack it with with its spear and its tail in a manner of familiar operation. I think to all of you. So first, spear. That's only an 11 to hit. I don't think that does it.
Mm-mm.
But then tail, 26 to hit
That does hit.
for 4 or 6 bludgeoning and 4 fire damage.
All right, so he has resistance to non-magical attacks, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be
3 bludgeoning, 4 fire.
Yeah, that'd be 7.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then it says here that it would be grappled, but I think that probably would normally only be if it's not large, but. You know, it doesn't say that. I'm going to say that it's another large creature. The grapple succeeds. So
Okay.
Earth Elemental is grappled by the tail. All right. Olin's turn. Olin is going to want to... They managed to get up in here, and they are going to reach over to you, Canthan, and cast... Cure Wounds on you
Okay.
at Third level.
Okay.
Uh,
Roll good.
yeah. Wait, that can't be right. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I see. 12 total.
12 total. Okay.
Yeah. Which, could have been better, but
Yeah, well, no, it's welcome.
it would have been 5
Yeah.
if it was first level. So,
Hmm.
okay. Um, I think standing next to you after doing that, kind of glancing over at Steve and just saying, that's new. All right. Axel, your turn.
Alrighty. So
Knock that other one back again.
yes, undead, ugly looking bunny. 5, 10, 15. And he will. Which one was looking? Was it the one to the right that was looking worse for wear?
Well, yeah, the one directly to the right of you was the one that I had previously described that way, but it's dead now. The one to the north of you is pretty hurt as well, though, and then the one further to the right, above north of Olin, is hurt a little bit.
Okay. Then I will. Yep. You know what? I will. I will Eldritch Blast one for each of them.
Okay,
First one. 12.
that'll miss,
That's-
unfortunately.
And for the second one, 19.
Okay, that'll hit.
He takes 8 points of force damage, and I will push him into the wall. And he has and he must make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. 13.
He is afraid of me,
All right.
Okay.
and that's my
Right.
turn.
Excuse me. All right, that was excellent. Dianok.
Okay, Dianok is going to step up to here
Mm-hmm.
and eyes gonna flash white, and this one is going to need to make an intelligence save as Dianok says, "Flee."
I was just trying to think if how easily you could see him, but I guess it's a save and not an attack roll.
Yeah.
Cover wouldn't matter. So, it makes an intelligence save. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Really?
What are you
Not
casting?
wisdom.
Nope. It says intelligence 15.
Okay, I believe you.
Unusual.
It gets a natural 20 though, unfortunately.
Well, at least it still takes half damage,
Okay.
which is 9 half to 4, I believe.
All right.
You may not have whipped it good, but you whipped it.
Yeah. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's limited in what it, or not limited in what it can do.
Yeah, so I think you do that very cool flee scary voice, and then it's over there across the room, kind of looks around Steve and just says, "What? I can't hear you."
As,
Uh,
as the grinding sounds of the earth elemental that's struggling in its tail block it sounds.
yeah. All right, so that makes it Canthan, your turn.
Yeah. Thank you for knocking that one away from me. That means I can attack it without having to worry about the fire splashing back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I am going to smack it with my my halberd. 14. Does a
Just
14
hits.
hit?
Just hits.
Okay. Whoops, that's the wrong one.
Okay.
That's the hand axe. 7 slashing.
Okay, it's still
And-
up, but barely.
One more, and only a 10. Okay.
A 10 will miss, unfortunately. Also, I just realized that the earth elemental, when it hit the fire snake, should have
Taking some fire.
Taking a splash. Yeah.
So it should have taken 1d6 fire damage. Should taken 4 fire damage from when it did that. Okay. So now it is the fire snake's turn. This one would have tried to attack Canthan probably, except that it can't get closer to Axel. So it's going to attack Olin, but it's doing so at disadvantage because it's afraid, right? That's how that
Yep.
works? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so trying to bite Olin. 13 does just hit for 5 piercing, 6 fire damage.
Ow.
Oh, wait, no. At disadvantage, it misses.
Okay.
But then the tail attack, natural 1. Yeah, it's afraid. It's very injured. It's sort of just flailing around pretty ineffectually. All right, this one up here, though, not afraid. It's going to charge up to you, Exel. Try to bite ya, but only gets a 5. So I think that doesn't hit.
And I think I can get a
Oh,
sentinel
yeah,
attack on
you
it.
would.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Only a 10.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Also, it's kind of on the other side of a pillar. It's a little tricky. But it missed.
Yeah.
It
I just
missed.
couldn't get a clear shot.
Yeah, it's fine. But then with the tail, it gets a 22 to hit Exel. So that's going to be 2 bludgeoning and 3 fire damage.
Alrighty. The 2 bludgeoning and how much fire?
3.
Okay, so I only take 1 point of that, and my temporary hit points are gone.
All right. So that's the fire snakes. Xenophon, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to look at that fire snake, and I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on it.
I'm going to delete the dead ones just so that
Yeah.
they're not confusing the
Yeah.
visual.
Yep, so I'm going after that one, the one that's attacking my friend Axel.
Gotcha.
In this holy place where you dare to tread, your tongues are cold, your fires are dead. Make a wisdom save, fire snake.
Mm-hmm. It gets a 4.
It fails, so disadvantage on its next attack and takes 3 psychic damage.
All right.
And okay, so let's give inspiration to got a couple of people on the front line. I'll give it to Canthan this time. Can with halberd long chop up salamanders all night long.
All right. Groovy. Okay, Flounce, it is your turn again.
Right. So let's see. I'm going to bop up here beside Exel
Mm-hmm.
and take a stab at that fire snake.
Okay, the one above Exel?
Yeah.
Remember that if you hit it, you'll take damage, and you might have to make a Constitution check on that Earth Elemental.
Yeah, you will. I also I think you can't really do it from there. I know that the map doesn't force it, but there is a pillar right in the way there.
Okay.
You can hit the one on the other side though. The one.
Throw
by
something at
Olin.
the one to the right.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I do have my heavy crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that.
All right.
How about that? Let's do something that from a distance.
How about that?
From a distance.
Yep. But that does not.
Ah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And I didn't want to use a spell because that would be fire damage and it would heal them, which would be just my luck. But anyway.
Heal?
It doesn't heal them, but it doesn't
Doesn't hurt them.
them.
Yeah. It'd be a waste anyway.
All right. So that makes it Steve's turn.
All right. Steve is kind of mad that this thing thinks that it can hold him.
Mm-hmm.
He did not consent to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Safe, sane, consensual.
Yes.
Touch.
So if he wants to not be grappled, he has to use his action to do that. But he can also
Okay.
just beat on it if he wants.
Yeah, he's just gonna beat on it.
All right. He will
It-
stay
it-
grappled, but he can do that.
Yeah. So
Gonna be there, be there.
that is a 15 to hit.
A 15 does hit.
Okay. And that is 11
Ugh.
points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and he takes 8 fire damage from the
Okay.
spatter.
attack it again
Mm-hmm.
for 25
Will also
to
hit.
hit. All right. And that is 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and then he will also take 9 fire damage. But he's definitely beating this salamander up, though. I mean, he's taking the damage because he's getting covered in salamander blood.
Yep.
All right. And now it is the salamander's turn. And it's going to... oh, you know what? I was doing this wrong. So until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. The salamander can automatically hit the target with its tail, but can't make tail attacks against other targets. So it should have been attacking with disadvantage, but we'll just move forward. We don't have to relitigate anything. But it does mean that it's going to make a spear attack and have to try to... Well, yeah, with advantage, and then it can hit the tail without even needing to roll.
Okay.
So 22 to hit with the spear for 14 piercing, which would be resistance, so 7 piercing and 2 fire.
Okay.
And then the tail is going to automatically hit, and it would be 13 bludgeoning, which will round down to 6 bludgeoning and 3 fire. And it's still grappled, still restrained, and so moving forward, we'll do that the way. So he's restrained.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll break the restraint on his next turn.
Well, he'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a strong guy.
Well, Steve's strong. It's Steve.
Steve's strong. Yeah. Okay, that is the salamander's turn. Olin's turn, and Olin is going to cast spiritual weapon with a bonus action.
What kind of form does his spiritual weapon take? Classic hammer? Something else?
A whip.
A disco
Oh
ball.
my god! TMI!
Disco. I like disco ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think disco ball's the winner.
It's funny.
I don't have I don't have a disco ball token, obviously. I'll just make a little circle. Okay. Oops, no, that's not a circle. Ah, for Pete's sake, trying to do a thing. Roll20, help me out. There we go. Okay. So the spiritual weapon is going to start right here because it's trying to finish off this one right there. So it's going to make that spiritual weapon attack. That's a 20 to hit, which will hit for 6 force damage, which clobbers that one.
Right.
Good.
And then with their action, cast a spell already, but they have cantrips. So they're going to step over here and Sacred Flame on the salamander. Which gets an 18, which does save. So no damage there. Yeah. Darn. Okay, that's Olin's turn. So we're back up to Exel.
And Axel, since it is right in my face.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty hurt.
Yeah. Does the well, I'm gonna have to face it anyway. I will bonus action bunny hop. Oh god. I'm gonna do it here.
Okay. One thing you notice when you land there is that up the stairs there you see another salamander, but that one looks already very injured and it does not seem to be joining the fight.
Right. And I will.
Attack the fire snake.
Yes, I will. I will actually Eldritch Blast the fire snake.
Mm-hmm.
13.
Misses.
And I will. Yeah, and I will.
You should have another Eldritch Blast, right?
Yep, I do. But I was sitting there thinking about doing it to the big salamander because it's right next to me. But it's fine. It's fighting Steve. So
Okay.
and I will Eldritch Blast the snake again.
All right.
18.
18 hits, yeah.
Takes 4 points.
Which is just enough that as it's pushed backwards, basically it turns into ash and covers Xenophon.
Xenophon gets
Cloud of
empty.
ash.
Man, this station really stinks.
And I will use the rest of my movement to step away from the big salamander, and I know
Okay.
it'll probably try to take a whack at me.
It definitely will with its spear. Gets a 24 to hit
That'll hit.
with for 16 piercing and 6 fire.
So
Ooh.
it's 22.
Mhm. All right.
Turn.
So Dianok, your turn. Dianok.
Okay. Gonna go and try. Gonna move up to here so I can get a better view and better hearing, and mind whip this salamander.
Okay.
An intelligence save.
Okay. Bloop. It rolled a 16.
Okay.
Has no bonus, but it's just twice now. It's just rolled high.
Well, same damage. 9 reduced to 4.
I'm gonna need you to be on the other side. I'm a little deaf in this ear. Okay, so anything else from your turn, Dina? Or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay. Canthan.
I'm gonna slip past our friend here and his weapon and hit to get here and take a couple of whacks at the salamander.
Mm-hmm.
26, I believe that will hit.
It will.
7 slashing damage.
All right.
And a 20 for
Awesome.
8 slashing damage.
Okay. 15 total. Yeah, it's starting to look pretty hurt, or bloodied. You'd say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool.
And let me just check my bonus actions to see anything that I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to take a second wind.
All right.
16 points back. Good. That's exactly what I needed. I am
Nice.
back to full health.
Good job. Good
All
deal.
right. Xenophon.
Okay, so I'm going to move to here. I'm going to look at the salamander, and nobody else, the way the spell reads, nobody else hears it, but the salamander hears me rapping discordantly, racking with terrible pain. I'm casting dissonant whispers and needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Wisdom. Natural 20. Boy, it's rolling high on the save.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes 7 psychic damage.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah, they're just getting lucky. They do not have high bonuses.
All right. So okay. So let's see. So let's give inspiration is important. So let's give inspiration to
Yeah, don't forget you have it, Canthan. You one of your
Yep.
Well, you hit anyway with both
Yeah.
attacks.
Yeah, I hit
And
with
if
both
Fawn
attacks.
says it, so I'm going to give it to Axel. Axel, you are hair of dread majesty. destroy this salamander with pageantry. There.
All right. That means it's Flounce's turn.
Hey. I'm actually, let's see. Let's see. Can I bunny hop? I'm gonna move down here, and then use my. No, that gets me too much in range and will provoke an opportunity. Oh no, he's already used his reaction.
What, the salamander?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
when
you weren't
when
in-
he used it on me.
he did.
Basic 15 feet here.
Well, and besides,
then
doesn't
jump.
your bunny hop not provoke opportunity attacks anyway?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But the movement from here to here.
Oh, I see. Okay. But yeah, he used his reaction already this round.
Okay. Oh, in that case, I'm just going to step in close and hit him with my longsword twice, and then
All
I
right.
can back away.
Okay.
You're gonna take fire damage when you hit him. though.
That's all right. I'm
Okay.
at full health. I'm not worried.
Okay.
No, but
Well,
that's not
I'm
gonna
worried
hit
about
at a 10.
concentration on that earth elemental. That's
Well,
gonna be
Yeah,
So
that's
the
Yeah.
10 will miss, but the 23 will hit.
Yeah, and all right.
It's going to be 8 fire damage for you.
Okay, and 6 slashing damage for him, and Constitution save, or just Constitution check or save.
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 Yeah.
Oh nope, that's a 6.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So the salamander is resistant to non-magical. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've been doing that. Yeah. So it is now resistant to non-magical piercing, slashing, bludgeoning. Which I don't think I was doing earlier, but I noticed it now. But the more key point here now is that you got distracted for a moment, lost your concentration on Steve, which means that if your concentration is broken, it doesn't disappear. You lose control of the elemental. It becomes hostile towards you and your companions.
Oh crap.
Hopefully, it's also hostile to the
Thing holding
fire
it.
snake that's
Well, it
grabbing
is.
hold of
It is still restrained, and so I think it does make sense that would still be the first thing it would try to do, is use its
Okay.
action to break the grapple.
Okay.
So
Alright.
have it go ahead and make an athletics was probably it was just strength probably on that one.
Yeah, it's just strength,
Hmm.
which is an 18.
It succeeds. It is no longer restrained, but it did have to use its action to do that.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Will I be able to dismiss the summoning?
Nope.
Oh boy.
That's the downside.
Steve. Yep.
That is the downside.
Yeah.
Steve is now our enemy.
Well, for now, the spell got busted. All right. So that makes it the salamander's turn, and I think based on the way that the earth elemental broke free of the grapple and then turned angrily to look over at Flounce. You know what? No, I think it's still attacking the earth elemental. I don't see why, given this current circumstance, it would do anything other than that.
It can't be dismissed, but it disappears an hour after I summoned it.
Yeah.
If we don't kill it.
Mm-hmm. So I think it is still attacking Steve, though. The salamander is attacking. So a 13 for the spear probably doesn't hit.
Nope. He has an AC of 17.
All right, and then for the tail, only a 9 to hit. So no
Damage.
No damage there. Okay. It is Olin's turn. I think Olin's gonna move the spiritual weapon up here and send that
Disco ball of death.
attack the salamander again with it, but gets a natural one, unfortunately. Yeah, and then cast Guiding Bolt on the salamander.
Okay.
Gets a 15 to hit, which just hits for 9 radiant damage. And it is glittery and glowing easy to
What
hit.
color of glitter is it?
I think it's rainbow shimmery, like it's like
Iridescent.
So on
iridescent.
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's Olin's turn. And I think Olin doesn't realize there's any danger from Steve yet, so he's moving up a little bit to try to.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah,
one
no,
told me
I
this
don't-
could happen.
Yeah. Okay. That means it's Exel's turn.
Okay, so, well, I do not like the way that it is looking at Flounce, so I will use Shatter on the Earth Elemental.
Okay.
Must make a DC 14 con save.
Actually,
It's an area effect spell. You can probably get the salamander as well.
Yeah, it's a 10 foot. So yeah, I'll
10
do it
foot
right.
radius, is that right?
10-foot sphere. Yep.
10
Okay.
foot
Yeah, if you do it
diameter
right
or
in
10
right
foot-
in between them. Although let's see, actually, yeah. So there's a place where you could do it where
Yeah, to get both of them and not.
If you center it on the salamander, you'd get
Yeah,
both of them and
yeah.
nobody else.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
All
do
right.
that.
So they both make con saves.
Yep.
Okay. So
Steve got a 21.
okay, the salamander got a 7.
Okay, so that means. So that's 14 points of damage for the salamander.
Mm-hmm.
That's thunder damage.
Yeah.
And
Oh, Steve
Pretty
is
hurt.
vulnerable to thunder damage.
Mm. So
He
even
takes the
if
full
he got the
14.
save, he'll
he still takes 14.
Yeah.
And that is my turn.
Okay. The salamander's looking pretty beat up now. I think that you're probably aware, Exel, over your shoulder of that other salamander who, like I said, seems already very hurt and does not seem to be joining in it, but it's certainly watching with concern.
Right. Yeah, since it did not immediately attack me when I landed on the thing, I'm gonna let it ride.
Yeah. Okay. That means it's Dianok's turn.
so Dianok would move where they did here,
Mm-hmm.
and gonna try and cast Dispel Magic on on Steve.
Oh, okay.
Dismiss it that way.
Well, let's see. So, Conjure Elementals is a 5th level spell. So, it doesn't automatically work, but you can make your check, an intelligence check, to see if you get 15.
I got a 21.
For just intelligence?
Natural 17 plus 4.
There you go. All right. You dispel Steve. Boom.
That's
Okay.
why you try and avoid taking damage when you have Steve out.
Lesson learned.
We're all learning today.
Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ganthan.
All right. I am going to attack with the halberd, which has advantage because of the glitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's a critical hit.
Nice.
That is 9 plus,
Should be one more D10, right?
yep, plus 6 is 15 slashing damage.
Okay. Now, if it weren't resistant, that would be 15, but instead it takes 7.
It's resistant to,
Non-magical
damage?
piercing, slashing, and
Okay,
now I
well.
didn't do that earlier, but I realized it later. So
all right, well, I will attack it again.
mhm.
18 to hit.
Still hits.
7 slashing damage.
Okay, it is almost dead, but not
All right, I
quite.
will step in and use a bonus action to hit it with the butt of my weapon.
Okay. 20
20
hits, yeah.
for 8 bludgeoning damage.
That is exactly what you needed. So you are going to take 5 spatter fire damage, but
Yes.
but you finish it off. So how do you do it?
Okay, the first 2 whacks kind of knocked the first one came down on the frills and horns on the back of its head and knocked its head down to about chest height, and the second one came down knocking its head down to about waist height, and then he steps in and comes up with the butt of it and just flips it over onto its back, and he delivers a coup de grace to its belly.
Nice. So as soon as
And
that happens, the other one that several of you can see now up the stairs here to the west, tosses its spear across the floor, holds up its hands, and who speaks primordial?
Oh, I wonder, do I?
I do
No,
not.
I don't. Celestial and abyssal. Damn.
Nope.
Oh, but wait a minute.
I have comprehend languages.
Well, so Olin does. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I
but
and I have a universal speech. So,
uh,
but Bolin speaks. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it makes just sort of a hissing, popping, growly sound, and then Olin says, "It says I give up." And it's got his hands up. It's looking around.
We'll accept its surrender.
Yeah. Olin speaks primordial back to it, and it sort of just kind of leans back against the wall, puts its hands down, but it's clearly not moving. It's watching you carefully, and Olin just says, "Oh, I just told it to stay where it is for now."
That's good.
Can you ask it why they're gathering offerings?
He speaks back to it, and it replies, "I'm gonna just elide all of that happening for the moment, and just have skip to the actual part." And Olin says, he says that, hold on, where is it? Oh, there we go. He says that the plan is that if they take all of the offerings that were supposed to be given to the gods, they can be used to tempt the other Tleshalots awake instead.
Ah.
It says that there is the leader of the salamanders was called by I guess this Tleshalot, the one that's in there apparently, is named Izel, and it was Izel's idea. It woke up and it called the salamanders from the elemental plane of fire. I guess it sounds like that's just through the volcano, and told them to get the offerings and use the offerings to wake up its family.
Oh,
Oh.
So in the meantime, I'll repeat the descriptions of the main room that you're in here and the room that this other salamander is in. So bright murals cover the walls of this broad pillared hall, depicting people through the ages receiving blessings from the gods. Stone double door stands at the far side of the room, while stairs rise to the west, and another hall opens to the east. And then to the west there, where the salamander is, shelves are carved into this room's walls, their contents swept onto the floor, reduced to shards of shattered pottery and heaps of ashes. A mural on the north wall depicts erupting volcanoes and smoke in the shape of tiny people drifting into the sky. Beneath the mural, a salamander lies curled in a corner.
Well, perhaps when it has if it has an opportunity to do so, it should return to its home plane.
Or nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Yeah. Olin speaks to it again, and then says, it says it would be very happy to do that, but right now the only way it can is back through the volcano, and he doesn't think Easel would like it right now.
Well, it looks like we're going to have to deal with Easel one way or the other.
Are there any further salamanders here, or is it just Easel?
He says there's one more in the room to the north, organizing the offerings.
Well, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should attempt some tactics.
Is anyone else like searching or doing anything else in the rooms here, or are you still just having the conversation?
I'm gonna search this other room over there on the
Okay.
other side here.
So over
Yeah.
to that side, you see murals of people making offerings to the gods cover this room's walls. At the chamber's center stand 3 statues on short pedestals, one of a tiefling, one of a dwarf, one of a human, all in poses of supplication. 2 of the statues, the tiefling and the human, appear to be missing something.
So there's like they're like holding something, but there's nothing there.
Yeah,
and that
it
kind of
looks like they're
thing?
holding something in it, but whatever it was that they're holding isn't present.
Huh. Ask where the pieces of these statues are.
So Olin does, and then he said, he points to the corner of this room to the west, and there's a white urn sitting on the ground over there. And he says, that's one, and he thinks that the other one is in the room to the north.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go and grab that white urn and put it
Okay.
where it belongs.
So
on the statue.
Olin comes back over to look at those with you. So you see that there are plaques that seem to be in the local language on these statues. So so to be clear, you can't read what's on the plaques. But the tiefling statue is a white stone statue offering a sculpted ring to the heavens. His other arm is bent as if holding something, but it's empty. And the piece that was found over in the room to the west is a white urn. And then the center statue is a red stone statue of a dwarf holding a large urn as if about to take a drink. That one is complete. And on the right hand side, the room's south, the blue stone statue of a human holds up a seed, offering it to the heavens. Other arm is crooked as if holding something that's missing. And like I said, there's plaques on all 3 of those, but you think it might be the local language, so if you call Olin over, he could probably read it to you. But he is still talking with the salamander at the moment. But so yeah, if you grab the white urn though.
Yep, I'm gonna grab that and put it back in its place on the statue.
Okay. When you place the statue back on the white statue, it fills up with some sort of a liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Do you inspect
You know,
the
you have a
liquid?
look at this. Yeah, I'm going to stick my finger in it and taste.
It seems to be some kind of an oil.
An oil.
Yeah. It's kind of greasy and viscous.
Hey, Dianok, does this make any sense to you? Maybe you can identify what this oil might be?
I'll definitely look at it to see if it makes any sense.
Yeah. Do any of you call? I think Olin doesn't necessarily know that there's plaques to be read, but he could. If
I think
he could.
I'll say, come over here and say,
All right.
Olin, there's something I think you would know how to read.
Okay. So he looks at those and he tells you that the white statue, the tiefling that you just completed, says the plaque says, this is Lucas who traveled on the wind. And the center is Lilva who brewed the waters of the gods. And the right-hand statue, the blue stone statue of a human, says Patux who brought the rain with a seed.
And the dwarf is the one with that's complete, correct?
The dwarf was complete. The tiefling wasn't, but it is now. Also, you can make a history or religion check.
Hmm?
Actually, I think Olin just will point this out without the check because they know is like, oh, these are devout figures from the legends about mortals who earned the favor of the gods with their offerings.
Hmm.
Um,
And so the other complete statue, is there anything in that urn?
You look inside there, and what is inside is a worn stone cup.
A cup,
Mm-hmm.
an urn with some oil, and a statue missing an urn.
Mm-hmm.
is
I think there's something. The third urn will have something we will need.
Well, it says, I've seen these statues before, but I didn't ever do anything with them. I wasn't aware they did anything. But, I mean, usually the blue one does have an urn too.
A blue urn, I assume.
Yep. Very matchy matchy.
Um, would
That's
it be
in order.
possible to crack open this door just enough so it can see through it?
They're pretty heavy stone doors. You think it would probably be like they're thick. It would,
They're gonna notice.
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
I-
that said, they haven't come yet, so presumably they're thick enough that opening it would probably attract
yeah.
attention. But
But they're not gonna know. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, we don't want to open those doors until we're ready to take that thing on.
Would I? And would there be a crack underneath?
oh, that you can see through? No.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, you know, I took Find Familiar,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't used it at all, but
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I have a little bit of.
Yeah, no, I don't think I don't think the doors really have any
Okay.
gaps.
Okay.
it's getting late, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We are late. So I mean we're reasonably close, but it's possible we could have another. We could have one or more combats still. So maybe we go ahead and leave it here, and we'll find
Yeah.
out. What happens next on the conclusion of Trail of Destruction. When we return for more adventure on so many levels.
So many.